Welcome, everybody, to a very special episode of the H3 podcast. We are back in the studio.
Yeah.
Feels good. Today's episode is sponsored by Honey, ExpressVPN, and Tushy. We have, as I said, a special episode. This is not going to be a normal podcast. We are going to be responding in full to the notorious death of H3 Productions video made by Gokunaru. I'll give you some background, basically, to fill you in. And by the way, we have call-ins today from PewDiePie, JonTron, William Osmond, Shoenice, and Jimmy Lee are all calling into the show today. It's a blockbuster. Very excited. So who is Gokunaru? Excuse me. Gokunaru, I'm just going to try to set the stage as quickly as I can because it's a long video. It's like an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. So Gokunaru was at the time a small creator that had this viral hit, the death of H3 Productions. And it's an hour and a half ball buster of me. He busts my balls for an hour and a half. And he basically says that I'm a hypocrite, or he said his main thesis is that I can't take criticism and that I'm a hypocrite, I think, or, you know. Such and such. People love this video. It is beloved by many, really. And it racked up like 1 million views, I think, which is incredible considering the size of his channel, right? Like, I think before it came out, he probably had 10,000 subs. I don't know. I may be speaking that term. I know his channel was small, though. And now he has, like, 140,000 subscribers, and this video put him on the spot, let's say. So we never responded to this video. People wonder why we never responded to it. Truthfully, the reason is that, or at least directly, is that, at the time it came out, especially, and well, even today, there are a lot of videos criticizing me on YouTube, and at a certain point, you really just can't even fathom responding to everything. You kind of just have to put on your blinders to an extent so that you can keep living your life and not just crumble. I mean, frankly, it is difficult to have so many videos critiquing you online, but that's fine. Obviously, I've muscled through it. Obviously, there's a lot to criticize here, so I'm not saying that they shouldn't be made. But then what happened ultimately was a few months ago, the video was removed by YouTube they updated their policy to include a clause that says creator on creator simulated violence. And at the end of in his thumbnail, he had him with a gun to the back of my head. And at the end of his video, he has a fairly, I would say, graphic assassination scene. His video ends with him assassinating me and burying me and then spitting on my body. So it's definitely like a very unsettling, creepy assassination scene. And obviously that, to me, people speculate why it was removed. To me, when I saw that, I was like, oh, this is obviously why it was removed. Mm-hmm. And then there's further conspiracies that I was the one responsible for getting the video removed. Conspiracies that were put forth by none other than your beloved Keemstar, who said, it started with this. He says, starts with saying most videos criticizing you when you were 100% messing up years ago have been removed. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you have a meeting with Susan? Well, so he says most. I mean, it was literally just one. Mm-hmm. So leave it to Keemstar, of course. This is what he does, right? But this isn't a video about Keemstar. Here he posts a picture of us and Susan. So this is the evidence.
Garbage.
Garbage. So we met with Susan. That's true. And apparently also, just to reveal everything.
If you go to...
Here's Gokunaru's video. When he made a video about his video was removed for harassment, and this is also circumstantial evidence, which is damning.
The episode of the podcast where he has Gus Johnson on. In that podcast episode, when he clicks the video tab, you can see that my username is in his history. as in he typed my username in there, and he knows how to type it, unlike 99% of the people who are only vaguely aware of me. What's even
So the fact that somebody spelled it right is evidence that
funnier is that podcast was on April 10th, and Susan Wojcicki
Watch
released
Kiki?
her
Is that
letter
how you
to
say her name?
creators
No.
on April 30th.
Wojcicki?
By doing
Or
a
maybe
little
he's
bit of
making a joke.
research with help from
Maybe.
Bedhead Bernie, we were able to figure out that Susan visited H3 on April 18th, 2019.
yes, the evidence is definitely. I see where he would draw the conclusion, but I will say that that no, I'm not responsible for the video being taken down. I mean, if you look at the circumstance, it was up for a year. The video had settled. Why? I mean, ultimately, why would I have it removed after it was all settled and obviously renew this whole conspiracy about like censorship? I mean, it doesn't make much sense to me. But the circumstantial evidence is clearly damning. But I will say that no, I didn't have anything to do with it. And obviously, somebody typed it in on this laptop. I agree with that. I don't know who it was. I mean, a lot of people use this laptop, so it may have been me. I don't know, but I didn't tell her to remove your video. I can tell you that for sure. I remember the content of our conversation. The thing is, if you go to the blog post, he kind of makes it sound like we just talked about creator harassment, but she met with a ton of creators and she talked about. Here's this blog post. Living up to our responsibility, support creator and artist success, and improving communications engagement. I remember the whole content of our conversation was about me bitching at her that they need to do more to help edgy channels, as they call them. Because all of my friends with normal channels, their CPM rebounded. And my rep at YouTube is always like, oh, everyone's CPMs are fine, and they're making more money than they ever did. And I'm like, well, I know that my CPM is worse than it's ever been. Because they added these...
CPM is the ad revenue. I don't know if everyone follows
the ad rate, yeah.
the terms.
Like price per 1,000 views or whatever, how much you get paid. And because they added all these new like systems to protect brands from going on edgy channels, and I'm like, my argument to her is like, why is it that if you go on Comedy Central or MTV or at that back in the day, but these are like South Park, like these are the shows that advertisers want to be on. Mm-hmm. So why is it that you guys can't figure out how to sell ads to content like mine and a lot of other people's that make content similar to mine?
Right.
Why is it you can't figure that out? That seems to me like a huge missed opportunity for both of us. So that was what I bitched to her about the entire time. And actually, well, at any rate, so that's what I was talking to her about. So anyway, people seem to think that I have Susan, you guys have to understand, is one of the richest, most powerful women on the planet. I love that you guys think I have her under my thumb, but unfortunately, that's the only time I've spoken to her, and we did not discuss Gokinaru. Although I will give it up that the evidence is strong there, circumstantially. Yada, yada, yada. But ultimately, you guys will see when I get to that end scene, it is pretty graphic. And Gokinaru even says in one of his videos that he thinks that scene crossed the line. And if he really wanted the video back up, I just don't understand why he wouldn't just cut that part out.
Right.
Like, people re-upload the video, and then they're like, censorship is being taken down. But if you look on YouTube, that anyone who cut out that end scene, the video is still up. And you know, that's YouTube's rule, okay? So this video has gained this mythical reputation of between this conspiracies with me and Susan and the censorship and like how it just went viral, that now it's just become this huge thing, and like people are reposting it like as some kind of anti-censorship thing, and that's fine. But I figured out, well, fuck it, let's just watch the damn thing, because
it's the video you don't want people to see.
That's what people are marketing it as. That's what Keemstar, like, he posted it on his channel as the video Ethan doesn't want you to see. Well, actually, that's not true, to the point where let's all watch it together. So with that being said, let's just jump right into it in the words of the great Philip DeFranco. So here we go. Now, in the sake of brevity, there's like a whole intro sketch that's 3 minutes long that I don't have much to comment on. So I'm just going to skip that and go straight to the criticism. But he basically is plotting to kill me, essentially, in the intro sketch. He spits blood on my poster. He's obsessed with me. He's doing karate. It's kind of like a Taxi Cab-esque, just weird obsession, and he wants to kill me. That's the character.
Taxi Driver.
Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan. So anyway, this is Chapter 1, First Blood, Leafy and Pyro.
Ethan Klein has done a lot for the YouTube community, and his main channel videos are pretty funny.
Thank you.
So why am I making this video? Because he's a hypocrite, and because he can't take criticism. This whole story started with Ethan taking one big risk.
Dude, his room, by the way, I know it's not relevant, but his room is so messy.
Well, who are we to speak? Have you seen our old videos?
Yeah, that's true. But if you're making your big Magnus Opus, you'd think you would like clean up your room a little bit. Most of you guys probably know Leafy is here, a popular YouTuber who's been blowing up big time. I'm actually friends with these guys, so it's awkward and it's uncomfortable. But for some reason, we as a community have been giving these guys a pass. And I mean, if you look at Leafy's channel, all he does is make fun of kids and like vulnerable people. No, there's no sport in making fun of these people. It's just sad. It's stupid, honestly, that we've all gone this long giving these channels a pass who are cancerous. I'm serious.
So Ethan calls out Leafy for bullying kids and bullying disadvantaged people in his videos, and you know, I'm not upset about that. That's not the issue here. The issue is this.
And like, oh, his room was clean in that shot. Oh, the conspiracy deepens.
I didn't notice that.
Me and Leafy are friends, you know?
You're friends with this guy?
Me and Leafy are friends.
All right, so you're friends with him. So how exactly did you get to this point? Like, actually, I'll let you play along at home. What do you think? Did Ethan, A, discuss the video with Leafy prior to uploading it? B, upload it with no warning whatsoever? Or B, because the answer is B. Alright, so right off the bat, that establishes that Ethan's goal in this was not to stop Leafy from bullying kids. It was to stir the pot, to get some drama going, to come out as the hero.
Well, I don't agree necessarily with that conclusion. I don't see why me telling him ahead of time has anything to do with me just wanting to stir the pot. The truth about that situation, though, is that I think in that video I did make a mistake by referring to Leafy as my friend because we were acquaintances, which is something that I messed up because Leafy played up that angle in his video about we were friends and but that wasn't really the way it was.
It's just this kind of like creator following another creator, talking in DMs.
Yeah.
It's not really friends, you know. But
okay. But to draw the conclusion that I didn't care about what I was talking about is I don't understand how he can draw the conclusion from the fact that I didn't tell Leafy that I was making a video.
I'm fine with that. You can do that. I love stirring the pot. However, you made one crucial little error.
I really just want to see his channel die out. I fucking hate him and his channel. Don't give Pyro a platform to defend himself.
Me and Leafy are friends, you know?
Oh shit, we're friends! I mean, that's terrific, man. I mean, I should have known since you literally were sucking my dick about my channel about a month ago. Happy for you blowing up. You got a unique style and personality, man.
By the way, a month ago in Leafy time, I don't know what was the temporal, but that was when I first discovered him, and then he started making all these really, like, going down this path of like shitting on kids and stuff.
He was making videos daily, so a month was actually a long time.
I think it was more than a month though. But
you worked hard to get where you are, and you deserve it. It just pisses me off to see Pyro writing yours to undeserved success.
This was the first time that we got a good look at the true, jealous, manipulative side of H3H3, or Ethan. He's straight up calling Pyrocynical a psychopath, cancer, no goofs, no gaffes. This is his honest, unfiltered opinion between two peers in the same platform.
But recently, I've actually had a lot of private messages sent to me of H3H3 giving me a lot of shit, saying how my channel is cancer, saying how I'm completely unoriginal, and I'm a total sociopath.
Now, Pyro, being a level-headed and self-aware guy, came out on this position on top. Do you know why? Because he knows how to handle criticism. He knows how to deflect it. He's smart.
Now, even though Ethan said all this shit about me, and I'm pretty sure he'd kill me if he saw me in real life, I'm gonna respect his privacy and not show any of these messages. Except that one, because it's genuinely...
I always took cross with the notion that I would kill him in real life. It's just, but okay, I'm gonna let him finish his point, and then I'll address it.
But what happens when the peasant calls out the saint himself? Does H3H3 Productions go to him and say, "You are cancer, motherfucker. I said it here, and I'm gonna say it now. You're cancer." No, dude. Guess what he does? He fucking lies. He tweets out saying, "Why you straight lying, dog?"
Oh, okay. So here it was also revealed that Ethan directly lied in a tweet to Pyro. When Pyro had some suspicions that Ethan was conspiring against him with other YouTubers, Ethan immediately said, "No, dude, why are you spreading lies?"
So, okay, let's unpack that. So when I tweeted at Pyro, I'm going to give context to this whole thing. So first of all, let me just address, I had this oh, we have WhatsApp open? What was that, Dan?
My bad. I still had it open on my computer.
So we were having, me and Leafy were having a conversation about Pyro privately. And first of all, it was super embarrassing that I look back on that conversation with great shame. It was very embarrassing, and it was totally out of line that I was speaking with about Pyro like that. I totally own that. But now let's go look at the context, because I think it's important, first of all, when you watch this video, to see how he opens it. He says, he tempers the audience expectation by starting it by saying, "The following video was completed after hundreds of hours of research, recording, and editing." So I'm presuming that he did all the research, which is strange because if you just go to Google and literally type H3H3, Leafy is here, DMs. Here, I'll do it right here, watch. Because I was just kind of, because Leafy dumped our whole DM conversation in his video, so I was like, oh, I know they're still out there. So I go, Leafy is here, DMs H3H3. And the first top result, look, right here. Let's click this. So this is the big write-up I made about it because I didn't want to make a video response. But let's see. Basically, Leafy sent him, like, Leafy made it look like I was just railing on Pyro, but this is shit that Leafy was sending me. Pyro's a fucking psychopath. Yeah, he's a fucking rat, dude. God, I fucking hate this guy. He's a scum. Fuck this guy. Likewise, man, hopefully he just falls in a ditch. Yep, he's cancer. Literally told me not to associate with this. I should have listened. He's fucking crazy. So, I mean, like, that was just the vibe of the conversation, which is super cringy. I agree. There's this weird thing, like, that I was trying to get people to make a video about Pyro, which is so out of character and insane. That's something that I would never do. And if you go look at our DMs conversations, that, by the way, Pyro read, and everybody read, right? Leafy says, like 10 YouTubers has brought up the titles thing to me. Yeah, don't worry. It was like 10 other YouTubers. Do you want me to bring up the overlay? He's making a video and talking with other YouTubers about making videos about him. I said, no, don't bring it up. It's fine. He says, he's been ripping off montage parody people forever. He ripped them off too. So he's talking with people about making videos to Pyro. I said, this is between us, right? Yeah, don't worry. I'm not saying anything. I never said anything earlier either. It was just a few YouTubers saw the title thing. I said, thanks, man. No problem. We're all in this together. Fuck this guy. I said, you know what? I'm not interested in blasting him publicly. All right. You know what? Just leave it. It's fine. I'm sorry. And he says, you don't have to explain yourself. He says, if I bring it up, he'll stop and you can't do anything about it. I said, if I have an issue, I should confront him about it and not have you do it on my behalf. And that's where I left it. I said, if I've got a problem, I'll just tell him. I don't want to blast him publicly. Which is funny because in the video he cites, Leafy says the exact opposite, that I went behind his back. But again, he's citing Leafy, right? Like Leafy's original video. And if he did all this research, clearly he would have read my post. But, like, just take it from somebody who actually watched the videos, right? Look at this. This also came up when I just typed H3H3 Leafy fucking DMs. Take it from this guy.
Video's wrong about H3H3. The thing is like when H3 and Leafy were talking about Pyro, they were talking about destroying Pyro, right? But Leafy is the one that brought it up. This was Leafy's idea to destroy Pyrocynical. So the two of them start talking shit about how much they don't like him in the DMs. And somewhere along the line, fucking H3H3 drops the best meme line ever. Do not give him a platform to defend himself. And Leafy's all gun-ho. Let's destroy Pyro. But then as the conversation goes on, H3H3 realizes that, this is kind of out of line. And Ethan literally says in the fucking DMs, yeah, let's not do this. This is not cool. This is not a good idea. Let's just drop it. And Leafy still wants to attack Pyro. Now, when Leafy exposes H3H3 for plotting on Pyro, Leafy doesn't show any of the goddamn DMs that he started it, that he still wanted to do it, or the fact that fucking Ethan no longer wanted to attack Pyro. It was just two guys talking shit in a private DM, and Leafy manipulated everyone by taking that one line out and showing everyone, don't give Pyro a platform to defend himself. All this fucking information comes out in the new beta podcast that's about to drop. Me, Clown, and Tommy all seen the full DMs, and I'm telling you right now, Ethan, H3H3, is fucking innocent, alright? Yes, he was talking shit in a moment, but he decided not to go after Pyro when this was Leafy's idea, and Leafy still wanted to go after Pyro. Leafy lied and manipulated everyone, like he has so many other times.
You heard it from Keemstar.
Wow.
I mean,
who is that guy? He seems like a really stand-up guy.
Who better to speak up for me than Keemstar?
He's actually got the right take. Like, what happened
But
here?
I think this just goes to show like when Keemstar doesn't
When he's on
when
your
you're not
side.
on your enemy
Yeah.
list. But no, he says I read the DMs, and to quote him, H3H3 is innocent. But I have to question Gokinaro's research, because he says he did hundreds of hours of research. And then I have to assume he also watched the Baited podcast where we talk about this specific issue at great length and explain all this. So the fact that he's actually bringing up this old Leafy video is without any context or amendment, kind of either his research is not as good as he says, or it's like a really bad faith argument. That's my take. As you've seen, have you seen Keemstar explain for himself? So, like, yeah, I mean, he sets up the video with this whole narrative that I'm trying to get people to make a video on Pyro, which is just, it's been proven wrong. And so...
And that was what you meant, right, when you tweeted at Pyro while he's
Yes,
doing
of
live?
course. He said in his video that I was trying to make videos, get people to make videos on him. I'm like, what? So that's why I said, why are you lying about me? Literally, because I was like, dude, that's crazy. Like, that's just crazy. Like, what are you talking?
Dog.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so here it was also revealed that Ethan directly lied in a tweet to Pyro.
See, based on what did I lie? I don't understand how could he conclude that?
When Pyro had some suspicions that Ethan was conspiring against him with other YouTubers, Ethan immediately said, no, dude, why are you spreading lies?
Because it was a lie, and you could have looked it up easily. Or I'm assuming you did see it in your research, but you decided to leave it out. So that's an interesting way to start the video. That's all I'm saying.
Ironic.
Hypocrisy counter, number one, baby.
Like someone to pick on your own size. Like, I mean, seriously, dude, what's
going
on? You're
and then this part, he shows. I'm saying find someone to pick on your own size, and I have 1 million subs, and Pyro has 700,000, and apparently I'm punching down because of that.
That's generally considered the same size.
Yeah,
I mean 1,700,000.
But also I'm having a private conversation, and I said in that conversation that I don't want to blast him publicly. So that's quite a stretch.
Picking on kids. What's cool about that? Clean cut.
So his hypocrisy counter's at 2, but I think I can wash both of those away.
I wouldn't exactly call it clean cut. He's got the hair of a fucking 6-year-old dude with a goddamn shitty toupee.
So Ethan was recruiting a army of small channels.
I mean, Timmy Brapston, people. That again, he's using Leafy's old arguments, which is pretty weird. But Timmy Brapston was the one time we made fun of a kid. But I feel like if you watch that video, you'll see that It's not that bad. I don't know.
I mean, also there's an argument of us evolving over time. That's something that we currently don't do, or at the time even stopped doing.
You know, at the time we made that video, our channel was small, and when your channel's small, you have this attitude of like, nobody's gonna see this.
Yeah.
And very much I bear that in mind with him too, because I actually want to give Gokanaro a lot of benefit of the doubt here, because I think he's actually a talented content creator, and I don't want to shit on him personally, because when he made this video, his channel was very small, and he said himself he didn't expect anyone to watch it. So, you know, a lot of stuff I'm pointing out, like now that it's gone like viral and everybody thinks it's like such an important video, it's important for me to talk about these issues and set the record straight. But on a personal level, I understand why it, you know, he would try to manipulate things, because he goes, look, I'm just trying to make a good video. People aren't going to watch it. When you have 1 million+ subs, then you understand that you have more responsibility to, you know, say things straight or to have more care. Like, obviously now I wouldn't go make a video on Jimmy Brafston. That'd be insane.
Timmy
B.
Or Tommy.
To basically try and conspire against Pyrocynical. You know, like, wow. Instead of doing a video yourself, you decided
That
to
didn't happen.
gather a bunch of cronies and get them to do the dirty work.
That literally didn't
Slowly
happen.
get them to try and topple this guy. Well, I mean, that sure blew up in
I mean,
your face.
the opposite happened. I said, this is stupid. I don't want to do it. But okay, we can move past this.
But what does the saint known as H3H3 Productions do after he's been caught lying? He fucking licks Pyrocynical's asshole, dude! Look at this shit!
I don't know what's
After
the
this
date
whole
on
debacle,
that.
Ethan immediately went into damage control. He professed his love to Pyrocynical. He said Leafy was a scumbag.
Oh, you know
for
what's crazy
releasing-
about this? He's referencing my post here, which means he read it. So I mean,
DMs, and you know
that's crazy, because he's literally saying I read the post, but I'm not acknowledging the fact that what I'm saying is factually inaccurate, which proves that this is actually a bad faith argument.
basically the half-assed apology that we got. You know, in retrospect, I can't even imagine how gleeful you must have been when that Content Cop was released.
Dude, everybody
Well,
was.
Wait a minute.
That's
You
why I did so
helped
well.
iDubbbz create some of the points for that video.
So again, you're going to notice throughout this video that it's like 90% speculation, which is wrong too, by the way. What he does is, his device is that he speculates, but what he says is he speaks it like it's true fact, and he always takes like the most negative possible way. So he says, Ethan, you could help iDubbbz make his video. That's not true. He literally said, hey, you want to do this shot with me, looking at the poster, just like a little Easter egg. And that was the extent. I had nothing to do with iDubbbz Content Cop, but he's just speculating. He doesn't know.
Well, look at that, Ethan. You ended up getting what you wanted. You got to bash somebody through the mouth of another.
I mean, that whole
Yeah,
point
it's
is
just
just
wrong.
wrong. Yeah. A friend in need. Alrighty.
Ethan, let's be clear. You weren't really friends
We're
with
actually
Leafy.
at 30
All
minutes.
right, guys, do not go away. We are going to take a quick break for our sponsors, and we will be back and railroad through this, baby. You poop, you wash, you dry. It's a 3-step process, and Tushy is in the business of blasting that ass. With water, everyone has an ass, and everyone deserves the gift of Tushy. Listen, you know that I've been converted. From the wiping to the bidet is a revolution. Putting your hand in your butt, it's disgusting, and it doesn't even remove all the shit out all over the place. You know you're just smearing shit around your asshole. It's not even dry. You know paper's not good for the environment. So now it's time to get a sleek bidet attachment that clips onto your existing toilet and sprays your butt completely clean with fresh water. It's called Tushy, and it's the best thing you can do for your butt. Tushy sprays directly to your ass. I love this copy. It's awesome. That's what it does, though. Sprays directly to your ass and removes the poop completely, so you aren't sitting on bacteria that leads to nasty things like hemorrhoids, yeast infections, UTIs, and itchy assholes and skid marks. Good point, Tushy. Bidets are common in the rest of the world, so why is America just still smearing shit all over their assholes? A bidet saves you money on toilet paper. Like, seriously, during the COVID-19 toilet paper shortage, bidet is the way of the future. It won't clog your toilet, and Tushy sprays your ass with fresh water. It's not toilet water. Tushy connects to the water supply behind your toilet to spray your dirty parts with clean, fresh water. It's the same water you brush your teeth with. Wet wipes are worse than toilet paper. You know that. We learned that here. It's terrible for the environment. And they cause anal fissures? You don't want your anus fissuring? Hell no. Oh, and here's the best part. It only costs $79.
Wow.
Tushy helps you get everything out. It's like a sexy tooth or cloud that helps you poop. And it's, wait, what's the Tushy Ottoman?
Yeah, that's a separate product.
It's a little ottoman for your legs to put your legs on.
Helps you get everything out? And it's a sexy tooth or cloud that helps you poop. And it's only $69. Nice. I'm curious about the Ottoman.
You want to see a picture?
Yeah. I want to see a Tushy Ottoman.
If you go to their website.
Tushy Ottoman. Oh my God. You have to buy this. Wait, hold on. I don't want that.
Just go to their website.
No. That's it. Bro, that's Tushy Ottoman, my dudes. That's what's up. You got to put your feet up so you can shit good. That's crazy. So that's $69 if you want the whole shit package. Go to hellotushy.com/H3H3. Get 10% off your order. That is a great offer. Start squirting water up your ass, dude. I'm telling you. And that's $79 to get in the door. Come on, it's Tushy. All right, so you all know how ExpressVPN protects your privacy and security online. But here's something you might not know. You can also use ExpressVPN to unlock movies and shows that are only available in other countries. Now that so many of us are stuck at home, it's only a matter of time until you run out of stuff to watch on Netflix. So this whole week, I've been using ExpressVPN to binge Doctor Who on UK Netflix. Boy, I love me some Doctor Who, and it's hard to find because the BBC got their shit locked down. But with ExpressVPN, you could just bypass all that and watch it on freaking Netflix, UK of all places. It's so simple to do. I just fire up the ExpressVPN app, change my location to the UK, refresh Netflix, and Bob is your uncle, as they say in England. See, ExpressVPN hides your IP address and lets you control where you want sites to think you're located. You could choose from almost 100 different countries, and so just think about all the Netflix libraries you can go through. Love anime? Use ExpressVPN Japan. Ooh. But it's not just Netflix. ExpressVPN works with any streaming service. Hulu, BBC, iPlayer, YouTube, you name it. There are hundreds of VPNs out there, but the reason I use ExpressVPN to watch shows is because it's ridiculously fast. There's never any buffering or lag, and you can stream in HD, no problem, baby. ExpressVPN is also compatible with all your devices, phones, media consoles, smart TVs, and more, so you can watch what you want on a personal device or the big screen wherever you are. Let's go! If you visit my special link right now at expressvpn.com/H3, you can get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. Support our show. Now is a better time than ever to support us. Watch what you want and protect yourself with ExpressVPN. expressvpn.com/H3. Honey is the shit. We all shop online a lot, now more than ever. But did you know you can make online shopping even better with Honey? Honey is a free online shopping tool that saves you money online. Honey automatically finds the best promo codes and applies them to your cart, which makes online shopping finally feel as easy as it's supposed to be. Now you don't have to neurotically check the whole internet for the best coupon code and know if you're getting the best rate. Honey does it for you automatically. Take, for example, this. Either was shopping for jewelry. What was the website? Again, this is how it works. You go to checkout. You have no expectation of making money. And then as you're checking out, Honey's like, hold on. I got you, boo. Or bae. I got you, bae. And then it's like, oh, look, I just saved you $31. Literally, automatically. It finds this code. Boom. Saved $30. It's ridiculous. Whether you're at Target, Papa John's, Sephora, Macy's, Essie, Walmart, etc., when you check out, there's this little drop box down. All you have to do is click Apply Coupons. Wait a few seconds for it to scan, and voila. That's it. It's really that simple. What did you buy that Honey... Honey has found it's over 18 million members, over $2 billion in savings. Did you know Honey supports over 30,000 stores online, and they're adding more every day? Users love Honey. That's why it has over 100,000 five-star reviews on Google Chrome Store. It is literally that easy. If you don't believe me, all you got to do is install it for free It's owned by PayPal, so you know they're the real deal. It's just 2 clicks. It's a plug-in. So go get it for free at joinhoney.com/H3. That's joinhoney.com/H3. If you don't believe me, just try it. See how easy it is. It's free. It's God-blessed. It's beautiful. It's honey. All right, moving on. A friend in need. Let's watch.
Okay, so Ethan, let's be clear. You weren't really friends with Leafy. You
Correct.
talked in the DMs, you bashed Pyro together,
Yes.
but really you weren't friends.
Yes.
So already we know your definition of friendship is a little bit loose. JonTron, however, is undeniably a good friend of yours. I won't even deny it myself.
John's the reason we came out to New York.
John
He
is a
gave
great
Hila
friend.
a job producing when we were
Yeah.
we were pieces of shit. We had no prospects, no money, no job. John said, "I'm gonna take care of you, kid. I'm gonna give you guys work. I'm gonna give you guys purpose." He brought us out here.
So when JonTron gets in trouble for the debate with Destiny, where he said some controversial things, you kept quiet about it. I mean, you make it clear that you disagree with what he said, but you stay silent pretty well. You don't discuss it publicly, which is okay. That's
is he
that's
holding
a
a
perfectly
belt?
fine response. He loses
Does
if
nothing
he
ever happen with the belt?
I don't think so.
Interesting. Why the belt?
supports John, because the public opinion at the time is that JonTron is an alt-right
clean up
idiot
his
who
room.
doesn't know what he's talking about, and that's a fine reaction to have. It's smart. Okay, just keep that situation in the back of your head for a bit. Now, around the same time, PewDiePie gets in trouble for some bullshit, complete, horse shit. And Ethan, you vehemently support PewDiePie, and you should, because you're his friend. And because he's right, but also because you're his friend. You should always support your friends.
No.
No.
I mean, that's just that. First of all, that's like, I mean, I disagree with that premise. The thing is that I defended PewDiePie because I thought, first of all, I came from a place of being able to speak on it because I'm a Jewish person, but I felt like it was totally bullshit that people were calling him anti-Semitic. I mean, it was just he really isn't. And so to say that because I didn't defend John.
Also, to me, the argue of like you should always support a friend, that's more like what you do behind the scenes. Like, yes, you should always support a friend, but
Right.
that's more of other stuff that you wouldn't see anyway. Whatever we do to support our friends.
The thing is, like, and I say I disagree with John's take, so obviously why would I come out and support him? But I didn't. I was very communicative. I talk with John all the time. I was talking with him throughout that whole controversy, and trying to support him the best I could. But okay, let's see. You should always support your friends.
When they have more subs than you and public opinion is on your side.
Oh.
It's a joke. He's not.
Wait, John has more, or John had more. What is that? John is a big channel. I don't know what he's talking about.
Right.
He says I only supported PewDiePie because public opinion was on my side, and he has more subs. But wouldn't that go against his theory that he's leading to is that I criticized PewDiePie when he said the N-word. So I was going against public opinion in that
Serious,
instance.
there's a big difference, guys. Context matters. As a Jewish person, I'm not offended.
Flash forward.
Spell.
PewDiePie's in hot water, man. He said the N-word.
Yeah, he dropped the N-bomb, and
But the situations are completely different. Well, I don't understand why this is proof of anything.
he dropped it pretty hard. It was more of just like a Hiroshima. I mean, it's pretty much worst case scenario. When they drop nuclear bombs and the people out on the street have like shadows left over imprinted on the sidewalk. It's like that.
Get off your high horse, you pompous fucking prick! Oh my god!
I don't think Felix is a racist person, but god damn, he really kind of just was really comfortable using that word. That really just kind of, I love that.
Oh, good guy. The guy's
just
put it
dropped
down.
the N-bomb.
Yeah. So okay, on this point, I'll totally own that this was a really bad take and a huge mistake. In my mind, I was rationalizing. Obviously, I knew that I had said the N-word when iDubbbz was on the show. The context of that, of course, was that we were having iDubbbz famously would say the N-er effer. And I was like, how do you get away with saying that, And then I started saying it, and then it turned into what I thought was a joke where I was saying it. But in my mind, I was like, well, we're having a conversation about this word, and I wasn't using it as a pejorative insult, right? That being said, obviously that's a nuanced point, and there's plenty of people who think, well, it doesn't matter how you use it. You shouldn't use it anyway. And
honestly, even ourselves have changed since. I don't think today you would say it.
No, I cringe so hard when I see that clip of me saying that and thinking that it's okay. No, I wouldn't say that now, and I find it horribly embarrassing, and I was definitely hypocritical in this moment. There's no question about it. Like, I've totally owned that. You know,
like straight up.
I'm gonna skip this
the
part
way he used
because
really
it's all about the N word, and this video is
Disingenuous,
super long.
opportunist.
Let's see. The dangerous double down. Yeah. Chapter 3, baby.
Ethan, why'd you do this? Because it's a hot topic, and you want the public to know that your views are rock solid. Do you know why I know this? It's because you're a disingenuous, opportunistic person who is not afraid to ride the wave of hate, so long as it stays away from you. But it didn't.
Do you think we should throw it now, Dan, to PewDiePie?
I was thinking at the conclusion of him talking about all of this, but whenever it feels appropriate.
Well, this part is also about him, isn't it?
Right, that's what I was saying.
So after that,
called out for this one, big time. Because people saw you got a little too cocky. You got a little too confident.
H3H3 uploaded this podcast to YouTube.
That's true. I'll own that. I think I was too cocky and confident, and I thought, I'm going to do a whole episode about the N-word, and is it okay to say the N-word? And I brought Eat That Pussy on, and we had a whole... But, yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I was way too cocky, and that whole episode was outrageous, you know?
And it has over
28,000 dislikes on his most recent podcast. Almost more dislikes than likes on this thing.
They think that Ethan H3H3 is being a hypocrite because on his podcast he said the N-word too.
So I'm sure H3H3 will clear this up in his next
video is
podcast.
so
Definitely
bad.
no hate to
I love
H3H3 or anything
Scares,
like that. He's a great dude, and I know he'll come back from this, obviously, right? I think he's just going to have to explain it more.
You're right, Johnny boy. Papa Ethan can do no wrong. He'll explain this all away. He'll make us understand.
We can be... I will say... Here, I'm going to let it play.
Be friends, and you can still criticize me.
Yeah.
But you have Keemstar and Scares who are like, H3's a hypocrite. Because he said on his podcast. You call yourself a news source. Like, get fucking real. I have nothing to apologize for. And somehow now I'm getting more shit than PewDiePie. H3's
I'm just going to say this is the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. This was awful. It was awful.
I hate that time too. It was such a bad time in general. I went to Israel because my dad was sick.
Yeah.
And then you were here doing this episode and you got all drunk. And it was just all around bad.
It was all
just
around bad. Drunk on a live stream.
And
first of all, on
it's
live.
You can't edit. Yeah.
But I don't know why. I think it was just a weird time. I got so defensive about it, and I was fully in the wrong. I mean, there's no question about it. And it's just awful. It's just so awful. I especially feel bad because I called out Scarce. And honestly, Scarce is such a sweet guy. He's such a nice dude. And I really feel bad that I spoke ill of Scarce. Because he's just a sweetheart. And really, he didn't deserve it.
a hypocrite. I didn't watch the podcast, but this guy says he's a hypocrite, and I didn't have any content today.
I'm
so I'm
fully
post a
with you on
video,
this
and
one,
I don't really
Bill
care
Canaro.
about what it actually means. I'm news, but I don't actually look at.
I'm gonna skip this because it's hard to watch.
Yeah,
and you're
it
right.
shows a lot of it too.
Critical of moral authority.
And to Keemstar,
I'm gonna skip it just because I totally agree with you, and we have an hour and a half to watch.
According to the internet, you're the news, and this is the news. People are calling you
Right.
all.
He's right.
Channel is making fun of people and criticizing.
He's right.
Delegitimize anybody's argument. Oh, they're just little kids.
He's right. He's right. He's right.
The only thing I really want to apologize for is that drunken rant. And, you know, about the context hypocritical thing, I don't think I'm a hypocrite. Most of the people who were upset about it probably didn't watch the whole episode because the harshest criticism I landed against PewDiePie was that I was disappointed.
Hey, Future Chris here, real quick. I need to clarify and make very clear the point I'm trying to make here. Ethan, the issue here was not that what you were saying was wrong. It's that you were the wrong person to be saying it.
He's right.
You
That's a good
emphasized
point.
heavily that he was live streaming when he said it, and that he sounded like he was very comfortable using it. And then there's footage, man,
You're right.
of you
Totally
being
right.
super comfortable saying it on a live stream multiple times. You had to have forgotten that clip existed.
I didn't
Otherwise,
forget, but I
you'd
thought
be
it was
a complete idiot for saying
I didn't
that.
forget, but I thought in my mind I justified that the context was different enough, but obviously that was not true.
At all. Like, just think about it this way. Why do you think iDubbbz did not say anything? because he's smart. He knows he's the wrong person to be.
He's right about that too. Idubbbz did not say it, and I was rambling on like an idiot saying it all this time.
Oh, on the
Oh,
podcast?
I think he means about
PewDiePie.
Exactly.
Oh, but I remember because even on that podcast, Idubbbz was like, "Ooh, you're saying it a lot."
He's saying anything about the situation. He needs to stay silent. Whereas you just wanted to use it as a fresh scoop for the podcast, and it worked.
That's
you got
true.
the clickbait, you got the views, but people realized you were a hypocrite. It's like
Yeah, that's true. I think that was my mistake, is that I was more focused on making podcast content than about like really thinking about the full implication of what I was doing. And so on this point, I totally agree with you, Gokinaru.
if Bill Clinton called out Donald Trump for being a sexual deviant, your point is just immediately invalidated, even if it's right. Plus, you even pathetically tried to bring Idubbbz into the mix and say that you would understand if people criticized him.
And first of all, I understand people who would criticize Idubbbz and say that's fucked up the way you use it.
So basically, you're admitting that you would understand if people criticize you, but you don't, because you're a hypocrite,
10.
and in your mind,
We're at
nothing
10
you
already?
do is right.
What?
You can't
Skip
take
forward a few.
How did we
criticism.
get to that?
Anyway, back to old Chris.
Buying a gun. So, okay.
So that's a.
So this part, I'll skip forward. He goes and buys a gun, and he's getting ready to kill me. They're playing around with guns and pointing it at their heads.
I guess
I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. The sketches are pretty. Well, here, let me show you a little bit.
where my brother is?
Oh shit, I forgot I had him. It's actually in my closet if you want to see him.
Okay. I keep people in my closet.
Yeah, that's what the sketches are like.
Yeah, well, a whole 8 months.
So,
he lost his spine.
okay, so chapter 4 is Dance Monkey Dance. Exciting.
Remember we talked about JonTron? Yeah, well.
Oh, surprise
Yeah,
call.
Right.
Before we move on to the next chapter, we have PewDiePie. Felix is actually going to call in to discuss the ordeal. So let's throw it to Felix. And we have Felix here. Actually here. Not a meme. He is here. And to prove it, here he is.
I'm sorry. I just realized.
Yeah. That you
Okay,
were...
you were in I was in Japan at that time, and then I have no excuse actually.
Well, people actually don't know what really happened. It was just
It was me. It was me.
No, but so what I think what happened was that you were gonna call in, but you were busy. You were doing all kinds of shit, and it was totally.
I've been really busy. That's right. Yeah. Doing live streams like 5 hours just playing video games, guys.
That's time consuming.
I do really want to come on under circumstances.
Well, what happened was we had like a tentative date, and then something came up, and so I had already announced it. So everyone kept being like, "What happened to PewDiePie?" So we just kept the meme going, like PewDiePie couldn't make it
I
today,
like that.
forever.
I like that.
But today he is here, and we're
Finally,
here.
the payoff.
Yeah. So how does it feel to have that dagger in your back?
I'm still pulling out inch by inch every day. It's so deep.
No, but seriously, I made this podcast about you using the N-word. And I will say, I made a whole podcast about it.
I'm more curious of what you have to say about it first, at least.
Okay, sure. I made a whole podcast about
I'll pull out the dagger.
We'll
Sorry,
pull it
keep
out at the
interrupting.
end of the segment, yeah. Let's leave it in for now. I made a whole entire podcast about it, and I feel like that was way over the top. I think at most it warranted, if I wanted to talk about it, like a short commentary. But the whole
Did
thing...
you do a whole podcast about it? Because I've only seen like a small clip of it.
Well, there was a whole podcast about it, and we brought Eat That Pussy 445, who's a really funny YouTuber who's black, to comment on it. Which,
I see.
which, by the way, he said he wasn't offended by it, and I knew that.
Okay, well
so,
then I'm absolved. It's
but
all
he,
good
no,
then.
what he said was that you made a heartfelt apology, and he thought you were sincere, so it's all good. And that was kind of what I said too.
Yeah, I can see it. I guess like in a way, I didn't expect you guys to defend or anything because I admitted that it was wrong as well. Like that was my apology as well. So that's just kind of how I felt about it.
Well, regardless, I do feel like that podcast was definitely a mistake, and I should have just kept my mouth shut. And clearly, I wasn't trying.
I don't know if that was necessarily the case. Like I don't think just like even if you're friends, you can still criticize. I know what I did was wrong.
The whole podcast was definitely a mistake, and I do apologize for dogpiling on you.
I mean, it's all good, man. If anything, I was so overwhelmed at the time, and I remember seeing it, and people were just mad right away, and I'm like, low key, just like, okay, I'm glad some attention is away from me at this point.
Yeah, there you go. See, that's some real French shit.
I didn't really process it that much either. I didn't watch the podcast. I watch it now again just to get refreshed on it. But it is what I said earlier. Like, I knew what I did was wrong, so I didn't expect people to be like, no, he's right, because that wasn't my sentiment either.
Well, there you have it. In short, what do we take away from this?
People on the internet really like to get mad for other people's sake. I get that a lot.
That is true.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think about people who are super angry
And then fans kind of do
your
it for
behalf?
you. I feel like this is a thing that's been going on for so long. Like, it's been like, when was it? 2018.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it just feels a bit dragged. Like, I wish people would stop bringing it up altogether. I just want to move on from all of it.
Amen, brother.
Yeah.
Me too. Now it's part of my. It's my shit too. Yeah, I agree. Look, at the time, I thought there was like some kind of nuance about how I was saying it in the context of a conversation about it.
That is a bit. It is different. Yeah.
But like ultimately,
it's a tough argument to make.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think
not
you made that point.
We should have never said it to begin with.
It's not. It's too nuanced of an argument to make to really. It's
Rant
not
on a podcast
Yes,
about.
exactly. So obviously it was a mistake. I do love you. I think you're a terrific guy, Felix, and I think you are jacked. You've got 6 rock hard
Let's
abs.
get it. Floor gang. Hell yeah.
And I'm fully torqued for you. All right?
Okay, dagger out. That's it.
Dagger out.
All right. All right, dude. Thank you very much for calling in. I appreciate you, and I wish wish you well. God bless you.
God bless.
God
Papa
bless you.
All right.
Remember how we talked about JonTron? Yeah, well, a whole 8 months after he lost his sponsorships and, he was basically ridiculed off the internet, well, you had him on your podcast.
Oh, you've always been an incredibly generous and gracious friend to us.
Thanks, dude.
And I genuinely love this guy.
And we miss you.
I know, I miss you too. It's been too long. Now that I'm officially, guest number 600,005.
31.
Not that many.
Not that deep.
Just kidding.
Did you see that reaction? Like, that signals to me that JonTron wasn't really welcome on the podcast.
So again, this is like
That is so not
crazy
true.
speculation, okay? Like John, first of all, we've been trying to get him on the podcast since the beginning. He lives in New York. We live in LA. We got him on the first time he came to LA.
John knows that we would have him at
Yeah.
any day. He would just say.
But he
and that's just so not true.
But he makes it sound like
That's just a speculation.
yeah, it's total speculation. It's totally
And
not
it's
true
just wrong.
also. This was well after the controversy too. I mean, it wasn't like right after.
Until the dust had blown over completely.
You can go to represent.com/JonTron. I think that's the link, but it's on represent.com.
Represent.com/JonTron.
Actually,
that should take you there.
Sorry. I never did like merch before, really.
So we have a
they're
call number.
linking in the chat to your store.
Oh, they're linking in the chat. Great.
No, cool. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
I'm not sure what he's trying to show.
you
You had
there.
an infamous debate.
Holy shit!
What happened?
So after 8.5 months,
I mean, it's
and
edited.
after everybody's basically forgot about it, now you give JonTron a platform to defend himself? Well, I mean, if you and John agree...
John didn't want to come
This
on
is
and
when
talk
he
about
decided
it.
to do it.
Yeah. It's just this whole part is like pure speculation. That's 100%
And it's
wrong.
edited to make the whole thing even worse.
Yeah, I mean, it
with
was
like
a full podcast, and he's just cutting awkward looks and stuff.
Yeah, looking way too deep into some like facial
I
expressions.
go. He's like, you see right there? he only brought him back on. I was like, whoa, that's a reading in.
this beforehand for him to discuss it, then that makes sense. That's fine.
Well, good, because we did. We had a long conversation. I'll give a background here.
Can you go back because I think it was cut.
Yeah.
What is
About
that?
it. Now you give JonTron a platform to defend himself? Well, I mean, if you and John agreed to do this beforehand for him to discuss it, then that makes sense. That's fine.
It happened how long ago? But so why do you assume that we didn't?
Right.
Of course we did. I wouldn't do that to him. Just kamikaze him like that. We actually had, like on a personal level, we had a lot of conversations about it before because we were hanging out the whole day before the podcast. And we had kind of discussed about what we wanted to say because I wanted to help him kind of guide the because we had a really productive conversation, and I was trying to guide him in a way that I thought would help explain what he said. And so when we were on the podcast, I think John kind of just clammed up a little bit, and I think in my mind, I was trying to help bring him to the point
where we were off air.
Yeah.
Because, I remember the conversation before. We were kind of going over some things. Then he was talking to us, like the kind of things that he wants to say on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like a little bit of a...
pre-interview.
Yeah. So then on the podcast, I think you kept trying to go back to those.
Yeah.
But he kind of changed. I guess he didn't want to go there.
Got nervous
once we were live. Got nervous.
And so the failure for sure is on my part of being a bad host. But to speculate that it's malicious is just, it's not true. I mean, it's just not true. But I definitely own that I was not reading the room, and I should have just moved on long before. That. Let's watch, though. I mean, I haven't shown you the clip.
Okay.
Was that now?
I don't keep track. I don't know. It was like a year or so.
I don't remember. Wow, has it been that long?
Yeah, like 9 months or something.
This is just John's...
uncomfortable.
I feel like that's just John, the way that he's like moving and talking, but he's reading so much into it. With,
well, he's saying we didn't even speak to John for 9 months, but we speak all the time.
Mhm.
We haven't seen John in 9 months because we moved to LA and he lives in New York.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to comment at all. Like,
I don't really want to get into this. It's a minefield of sorts. I'm not going to go back and nitpick everything I
And
said.
just so you know, this is super cut up, and I don't know if this came in the beginning or the end or what.
And qualified or anything. All I'm saying is that, I was going to say that a lot more. Unfortunately, I'm not really going to get into it. But, I guess the main question on everyone's mind is, is he a racist? Is he a Nazi? No, I treat every single person with the same respect they afford me. That's basically my full statement.
Okay. I mean, do you feel like you said some things that you regret? So this is what I'm doing now. I'm like, well, we had a good conversation, and I felt like if you can explain yourself a little better, maybe people will understand where you're coming from. But obviously, it didn't come off that way. And it's funny, at the time, there was like this incredible pressure on me to
address
ask John
this
about
topic.
that. And then after the video, people were angry that I let him off easy. And now as time has passed and they forgot the context of that episode, now it's easy to look back and be like, oh, Ethan was too hard on him. Which is just, it's ironic because that's not what happened. It's just not.
I don't like reliving it. No, I don't.
did you have a lot of self-aware moments during that where
Of course,
you're like,
the whole time.
you're just like,
I was like,
wow.
I should not
enjoying this? I mean, what are you speculating?
This is just
I'm just having a
all
conversation.
his titles.
be here.
I was wondering that. I
get it.
saw
I
you
was
doing
like,
it.
I'm not the
John,
person.
No.
I was like, if there,
I sound drunk. Was I drinking that episode?
I'm not the person to fight this battle.
Right.
No.
Well, let me just say for the record, like, that I disagree with a lot of the stuff you said.
I just don't want. I really don't want to get.
By the way, that's cut. Okay.
Right.
So what I was saying is, while I disagree with what you said, I'm still your friend because you don't understand the amount of tension that was surrounding that episode. Like, we pulled up the thread when we used to put up threads for our guests to write questions, and the thread that we put up for John was all about this issue. And so I wanted to make it very clear that, like, while we disagree on these points, that I'm still friends, and I don't, because the hate towards John during that time was insane. And so I would be like, yeah, I disagree with you, but I still love you, and we're still friends. I mean, I make this point that if I just cut you out of my life, what does that accomplish? How are we ever going to learn and evolve from that? Which I would never do. It's just hypothetical.
Get into this. I would like to move on as quickly as possible because I just really don't want to get into this. But, I mean, I don't want. I'm a comedian. I just want to make people laugh. That's really. I'm not trying to get back into this. I just treat people with the same respect they give me at the end.
Right.
Don't want to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
It's just that's me. Don't want to get into it past that.
Okay. Fair enough.
Is that fair enough for you?
What did that say?
Not sure.
Let's
Treat
see.
people with the same respect they give me at the end.
Right.
Don't want to hurt anyone.
Yeah.
It's just that's me. Don't want to get into it past that.
Okay.
The face when you want to rip your friend's spleen out of his chest in front of 20,000 live viewers. Is that the face? I don't know that that's that face.
Specifically the spleen, you can tell.
No, that's just
fair enough.
Is that fair enough for you?
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
I kind of want to ask you. Tell me if you don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, Ethan, I don't think he wants to talk about it.
But
Right. Yeah, I should have definitely just moved on. That's for sure.
Ask you stuff that I find
That's
interesting.
my problem with
People
this.
still wanna-
The general theme of this video is basically, to me, what it shows is just moments that really showed our lack of experience. It's
Right.
just, yeah, we're not happy with those moments too, and we all continuously try to work on everything and try to improve.
Sure. I mean, this is episode 30. Okay, so obviously I think we've gotten a lot better at hosting a show. Obviously, I'm still have a lot of learning to do. I'm not as good as I want to be. I mean, you look at someone like Joe Rogan. He has like 1,500 episodes. You know what I mean? So, so I still feel like I'm somewhat of an amateur at doing this. But again, it's just I understand how he could read into it and see that, but lacking the context of the episode and speculating that I just blindsided him is not true. So
Want me to do comedy, so I
clearly, yeah. I mean,
I've just.
So anyway, you know what?
From it, or
let's just throw it straight to the man himself. We have a call from none other than JonTron. We have on the phone with us JonTron. John, hello. God bless you.
I didn't sneeze, but thanks.
Well, you may sneeze, and you could put that in the bag. John,
All right, what's up?
John-
I'm so glad to be here, and I'm so enthused to comment on Rob.
Yes, I know.
Hooked right in, but
John, tell me, we did an interview or we did an episode together that was heavily critiqued, in which people had said that I was very hard on you and I pushed you too much, and that we didn't talk about it beforehand. Well, I just want to know, what was your reaction to that episode?
did they say that? Did they say that we didn't talk about it
Yes,
beforehand?
they speculated that I blindsided you.
So I've been hearing this for years now, or I think it's years. It's been years, right? Yeah. So I've been hearing it for a long time now. Like I see it in comments, like on Goku Naru's video. I remember when that came out and everybody was saying those kinds of things in the comments, and I was kind of like, I don't want to get in between this. It's just more blah blah on the internet. But if I kind of want to just dispel some of the rumors, at least if people are going to be critiquing, like let them do it on the basis of fact and stuff. So, or if people want to be critiquing, let's let them do it on the basis of what actually happened. So, we talked about it beforehand. Like we met. You didn't blindside me, basically. I know that's what, basically, that's been the thing people have been saying, that you just kind of came at me and I didn't know it was coming. But no, we talked about going over the topic. It was kind of sensitive. I think both parties were a little bit, like me and you and Gila, were like, I don't know how to come at this. Here is the short and tall of it. Me and Ethan and Gila go way back. I know them very well. I know them on a personal level. So, yeah, we did talk about this thing beforehand. We knew it would be awkward. It was awkward, as expected. But was there malice, blindsiding? I don't think so. I know
What?
not so.
How could you say I don't think so?
I realized it came off wrong.
Come on. You know so.
Was it blindsiding? Was there malice? No, I know
Thank
that.
you.
And
Close the door on it, John.
I add, no. I'm here to defend you, motherfucker.
It doesn't sound like it. I don't think so.
Okay. I meant like I don't think so, like that. So let me just.
John, you're not helping.
No, all right. I'll put out. I mean, you can decide whether you want to use this. I know for a fact that it wasn't malicious, and I'll tell you why. Because Ethan and Gila graciously let me stay at their house that same night. It's not like he just cut me loose into the city. And then the next morning, he was like checking his Reddit, and he was wondering if he did the right thing. This was not a situation of malintent. I can say that for a fact.
Just to recap, we are friends.
I legit, look, the reason I'm here, I don't like to be in this kind of thing, but it's just because I don't like seeing people slander you when, like, I just mean, like, slander you using my name when it's not true. So,
Thank you so much, John. Thank you.
Why would I not? You would do the same for me, I hope.
I would. Absolutely, I would.
And Gila, sorry, you know what? You're behind my picture, so I can't see your. You feel like you're not here, but you are here.
I'm here.
Hello. Sorry, it's good to see you.
It's good to see you.
Okay,
All right,
good.
thank you, Johnny. I'll talk to you.
Yeah, all right. Good luck, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
I saw this podcast. It made me realize that Ethan is the Iago of YouTube. He isn't friends with you unless he has something to gain. You know, maybe he's friends like Leafy friend, you know, like that kind of friendship. But unless you have something directly to benefit him, you're not friends. Like, seriously, notice how everybody who he openly claims to be his friends, all the friends he includes in his video.
Ty Lopez. Oh, that's funny. By the way, JonTron is just as famous as anyone here.
Right.
I don't understand that point. By the way, JonTron is my dear friend. He's probably my closest friend, as close as any of these people are. Ty Lopez, though. How did Ty Lopez end up there?
More successful than him. It's because he's opportunistic by nature. I don't.
That's a strange one, I have to say. People always gravitate to other fellows in like a similar stratosphere. So it's just because you have more to relate to.
Mm-hmm.
To say that I'm opportunistic, like, I mean, me and iDubbbz are friends. We've made a lot of content together. I mean, I do have non-famous friends, of course, but what do you want me to say about them, dude? Do you want me to tell you everyone I hang out with and know?
Ethan is
strange.
the Iago of YouTube. He isn't
But if you look at like, I mean,
friends with you unless he has something to gain. Somebody who I don't even know that I should blame him, but I will, because he is. I mean, I genuinely don't think he has ever collabed with a smaller YouTuber. You know, take that how you will. He has no obligation to, but it says something, considering how many friends he has in the community. But sure, he'll have John on the podcast after not talking to him for 8 months. But we all know why that is. Because he wanted the fresh scoop. He wanted the juicy details. He wanted John.
That's not why people watched it.
It's not fresh either.
Yeah.
It was old news at that point.
But also, a lot of our podcasts have views like that from like that age. You know, it's not unusual.
Tron to explain to everybody how he got those fucked up ideas in his head. And this is classic. I mean, this is not a one-off situation. Watch the podcast for so long and you'll definitely notice something. You might not notice it directly, but anytime Ethan feels he's superior to a guest, he makes it blatantly obvious. One of the worst occasions of this is the episode with Jimmy Lee. Now, I'm going to try and make this brief, but if you do watch this podcast episode, it is insane the amount of disrespect that Ethan displays for this.
Okay, so this part, I have to admit, is just so funny to me because he clearly has no idea who Jimmy Lee is.
Yeah,
he thinks he's just some random dude,
comedian.
Some random comedian that had Jimmy Lee. Let me give you some backstory on Jimmy Lee, and I have to go back again to the hours and hours of research comment because again, either you didn't do that much research or this is a bad faith argument because the origin story of Jimmy Lee is that a fan displayed at the top. Here, I pulled this up. A fan wrote us an email. They said, "This is my actual dentist. I discovered this video when I decided to look up his alter ego, Jimmy Lee, a name which is displayed on top of his music album that he gives to his patients." It's the dumbest fucking thing in the world, and this video makes me want to claw my eyes out. So Jimmy Lee is a dentist who gives his mixtapes to his patients.
And this was during the time we were doing Ethan and Hila videos.
Yeah.
And people kept posting submissions for us to react to.
So,
and that's how it started. We reacted to this video that they sent here.
So Jimmy Lee makes these incredible videos, like sketches. Let me show you an example. They're all super like racist too. Like here's just one clip. Let's see.
This is one.
Oh.
Oh,
she says something about she thinks he's gay and she doesn't want to be next to him or something. And it's just all super crude. She's got like yeah, exactly. It's awesome. So anyway, that's how we found out Jimmy Lee. And then we started having this back and forth with Jimmy Lee. He became like this beloved meme in the Ethan and Hila universe. To the point where we actually collabed with him, which goes against your original claim, by the way, that I haven't collabed with any small YouTubers. Jimmy Lee was a small YouTuber, and we made a video with him. Here's an excerpt from that.
Then nobody would know the difference.
By the way, this is one of the greatest moments ever. So we met Jimmy Lee when we were living in New York, and we just made kind of like a vlog together, getting to know him because he's such a character. And I cannot emphasize this enough. Jimmy Lee is a character unlike anybody else in the world. Here we are eating lunch, and just watch him start He's married, by the way, and watch him start hitting on this waitress. I know the guy, and I'm putting my head in my hand. Who can embarrass a waiter that much other than Dad?
Then nobody would know the difference. They're all Chinese.
I'm married, but my wife's single. I like you.
Okay.
And I want to make passionate.
Look at his hand.
But tonight I want to be on the bottom.
Okay.
And I want you to be up on top. So Ethan's going to come home with a bunk. So this way I'm going to be on the bottom, and you're going to be up on top.
His hand.
I like piggybacks.
You like piggybacks?
I do. I really do.
Brian will jump in.
Okay.
Now the owner, you don't want to lose your job. Maybe your virginity, but not your job.
Wow.
And where are you from?
No contract to be signed.
Thank you. Look at his face.
I'm good. I want to ask for the record.
Glad you did it right away, too.
Yeah, me too.
What was that?
That's what Ethan is. The beauty of me. That's the real deal, unscripted, uncensored, and that's what people want. Me on the streets. Billy, get off the streets. The Jersey Outlaws.
So this is Jimmy Lee. He's just this absolutely incredible character, right? But like, I mean, oh shit, I shouldn't have closed that.
I'm a funny guy.
Here, let me just put this up here. This is suiting. Here's another one of his videos. He does street comedy, and here he is.
She went into the 7-Eleven. She didn't leave till 6:10.
He just calls people fat. I mean, it's incredible that he gets away with it.
She was on the corner. The cops went told her to break it up. She's a big girl. You guys are cool.
You believe that shit? He just goes up to people and calls them fat, and now he calls these girls ugly.
You know, Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger.
2 5s make a 10. You know, Maria?
Jesus.
By the way, P.S. You know, plastic surgery.
You know, as soon as he leaves, there's a bunch of, he does racist jokes. He does it all, man. He's the whole song and dance. I wish I had some racist jokes time-stamped. But, like, this guy has just figured out how to say and do anything, and people just, I don't know. Standing right there.
I think, I mean, it's the age, too. It's just a different generation.
Dude, it's great. And then he cruises around, by the way, when he's doing the street comedy with, like, he hires models to walk around with him. It's awesome.
Boy. How funny am I? I don't know. My kids go to private school. They won't tell me where it is. I'm funny. How funny am I? I had a threesome last night. I used both hands.
You know? Imagine doing that. Anyway, that's Jimmy Lee. Like this, he acts like Jimmy's just some random sweet old man that we came in and just decimated or something. But I mean, come on, it's Jimmy Lee. You don't know anything about Jimmy Lee, bro, and you're talking about it. It's crazy. It's crazy that you're defending.
Insane.
I mean, it's crazy, dude. I don't know what to say. It's crazy. Like, it really genuinely is. But okay, let's watch what he has to say about Jimmy Lee.
As for just occasion, Ethan, this is the episode. He opens the podcast by basically bashing him and discrediting him as a comedian.
His comedy style is this.
You didn't show the clip. You didn't even show the clip.
Essentially roasting people he's never met before. I mean, Jimmy emails me very frequently. He pretty much emails me like 5 times a day. We're best friends. He emails Hila too.
Except I ended up blocking him.
Jimmy, by the way, does, even to this day, he emails and texts on a daily basis, frankly. But we love Jimmy for it. He's a character.
I gotta keep my inbox clean, you know?
It wasn't personal.
I gotta see.
But I endured it because I'm like, Jimmy's a legend. I mean, the guy's a legend. So, and Jimmy, he's a legend.
Then, after talking shit about him, he welcomes him onto the podcast.
I mean, it wasn't that much shit, but okay.
Jimmy Lee,
by the way, the whole relationship we have with him is talking shit on him. We've made like 4 videos on him on the Ethan and Hila channel. They're all shitting on Jimmy Lee. That's the whole premise of our relationship.
It's basically he does cringy comedy, and that's how we found him. And
So it's not
that
like-
is the relationship, you know. It's not like
he's unaware of that.
That's the whole purpose. He wants to be with us. He wants to interact with us, knowing that we're always just goofing on him. So why should I? That's the expectation he had coming in.
But it's all fine. It's all with good.
Yeah, it's with peace and love.
Yeah.
For sure.
Welcome the legend.
The guest actually reveals himself to be kind of, a decent guy, and everything's
Of course
going
he's a
kind of
decent
okay
guy.
until.
But they create an effect.
Got it.
And an illusion is really what it is.
Right.
So it's a marketing tool.
Is it possible? Are you gonna be there the whole time?
Okay, by the way, we told Jimmy because we knew he was going to pull some shit because he's such a character. We told him, you can't. I don't want you to bring a camera in the podcast studio because it's
This is a
small
small room.
and it's distracting. And then, sure enough, we start recording, and this camera guy slips in the door after we started recording.
Not one. There was one guy there.
Oh, there was
and one guy here.
So like I agree, it's awkward. It's a live show, but like again,
But the
you're
guy, like for me, every time I was looking at Jimmy, the guy was here, like trying to take pictures of us. It's like I can't talk to you when the guy's in
Yeah.
front of me.
So, I mean, it's easy to point Hila as being, like, bitchy or something. But, like, again, we said they'll bring the cameras in. And then there was 2 camera guys that came in. I'm like, Jimmy, just use the footage from the podcast.
Yeah, we told them you can have all the footage.
It's a little hard for me to focus on.
They're getting right in their face
Are you
and
filming?
shit.
We have 3 cameras in here,
Oh, there's-
Jimmy.
I mean,
There's cameras.
I don't want the guy here, but it's hard for me to focus on you when.
That's right, it was 3.
Get out, dude.
Oh, can he stay and do stills? Or no?
Still, not really.
I just don't know. We took
Okay,
photos
okay.
together.
We'll
It's
do the
just
still
Jimmy's.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Sorry.
This is pretty much what we expected, though.
It's part of the experience
Yeah.
for sure.
Well,
And for some reason, this interaction gives Ethan the green light to just fucking ruin this guy's day.
Like it's no.
again, I don't even know. That's based on nothing. That's just your narrative. Your hours of research didn't even take you down the Jimmy Lee hole. You don't even know our relationship. I mean, that's just a bad faith argument to show Jimmy Lee.
Secret like between us that it can be awkward for people to be around you, right? Like you know that you elicit that response.
Why do people?
Dude, you have to go watch the video I made with him. You don't understand. That is his existence. Like to say that was the green light for me to shit on Jimmy Lee just proves this is a bad faith argument.
He focuses heavily on the fact that his jokes are dated and they're kind of racist in a way. And oh my god, did you see that? Look at this. My god, Ethan. So we just got a good look at the Google Doc he uses to question this guy. And wouldn't you know it, it outlines every single question he asks.
For me, and I got a big outfit. And
So
when
you're a successful dentist. What is your passion? Is it comedy or dentistry?
Well, I wasn't doing this for money. I'm not making money doing it. It's a
Right.
passion from here.
So what does your wife think about the?
She thinks I'm nuts. And I got my oldest son that thinks I'm nuts, and my young one thinks I'm hysterical.
What does she think about all the female attention you get?
It even has some of the fucking jokes that he uses.
Jimmy emails me very frequently. He pretty much emails me like 5 times a day. We're best friends. He emails Hila too.
Except I ended up blocking him.
So now we know why he was so pushy during the JonTron interview. When he has an agenda.
Well, okay. I mean, this criticism is just strange that I have notes.
Yeah.
I mean, why is that a criticism? I mean, I'm an amateur podcast host, and I try to formulate my thoughts as best I can. I mean, I agree that it's best. I've learned that it's best to be prepared, but to avoid it as much as possible. That's what I've learned over time.
Yeah, you don't script it nearly as closely
And we're
as that.
still
And obviously, it takes
trying
practice.
too. And we've experimented with different ways too. It's just this is all a learning experience for us. But we've done ones like that, and then we've done ones with no notes to see how just a conversation goes. But I don't see why is that here in the video. That's just.
I don't either, and I mean, I accept the criticism, of course, that I'm not a good podcast host, and I'm always trying to improve. But it's almost like he just saw like my notes, and he's like, "Oh, I can use this in some way to show like I found something out that I wasn't supposed to see." But there's really nothing incriminating about me wanting to have notes. I mean, I'm just trying to be prepared.
He just goes with it. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't even listen to what the people are saying. He asks the questions he wrote down and doesn't even care to transition them properly.
That's kind of a personal
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's probably true that especially at that time that I was too reliant or I wasn't, engaged. My fear as a podcast host is like that back then I had this issue. I was like, I don't want dead air, and my fear is that they'll stop
Dead
talking
air.
and then I won't know what to say, right? So I was always trying to load up the next question in my mind because it's like this, you want to keep the show flowing, but you also want to have a natural conversation. So this was kind of what I was balancing with.
And especially doing it live added an extra layer of making it stressful.
Right.
Because it's live, and every little like, I don't know what's the next question is. You notice it immediately, and it's awkward.
Yeah. Back then too, I want to point out that we not only were we doing it live, but you guys would always have the Twitch chat open during
Right.
the show.
Yeah.
Which we realized was a terrible idea because then
Yeah.
you're being way too receptive to
Yeah.
the feedback. And I remember during
much.
that Jimmy Lee episode, it was just a wall of people saying, "Oh my God, this is so uncomfortable. This is so cringe." Blah blah blah. You know, like, and that gets in your head,
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's-
so
yeah.
I mean, that was a mistake as well.
Yeah.
But it's convenient for him that he goes, I'm just going to talk about this real fast because you don't have any context. You don't actually show any of the episode. And you're just painting this whole narrative and speculating on shit that's just 100% untrue. I mean, the only thing that is true that I'll own and that you're right about is that I was and still am a bad podcast host. But is that really enough to say that I'm a bad dude, which I think this video is trying to say? I mean, I don't see how that equates to me being a bad person.
Question, right?
It's funny because who would do this? That's why I don't get the people don't get
that's
it.
why it's fun.
Yes, now people and have fun. That's
By doing this.
for having.
I'm just going to skip that.
Describe value for his viewers. Looks at the script.
Jimmy, how long have you been white?
I'll be black with you in a minute.
I'll be
What? I don't even.
That's
Dead serious, like this older.
Whew, let's keep watching, man. This video's a
Cherry picking the parts that make him look bad. You gotta watch his videos, bro. What? You have no context. The fact that you're gonna come out here and be sad for Jimmy Lee is so mental, bro. It's such a bad faith argument. Just go watch the videos, bro. Nothing's cherry picked.
Yeah.
is spectacular.
Okay. Older people.
Let's take a quick
Off the cuff. Back when we were.
control over this.
The only reason that they kick him out failed is because you wanted it to. You wanted to rag on this old man, and you succeeded.
This old
and Hila
man.
is no angel, okay? When this guy goes to the
Uh-oh.
bathroom, she fucking literally suggests that they kick him out.
Say, we could bring Dan with the news after the break.
And Ethan loves.
And again, you like people in the chat were going like, "Get him out of there! Get him out of there!
Yeah. Pull him!
So we were reacting to that. I agree, it was super awkward, and honestly, we probably shouldn't have kicked him out. But like, whatever. It was just really uncomfortable. It was a really early episode.
It's poor planning all around.
Yeah,
We
it was
had
just a
no,
bad execution.
Yeah, it needed to be planned out more. As here's this segment and here's that and
Yeah.
there's a transition, but it was all live and it's like, okay, how do we talk about how we want to move forward right
Yeah,
now while
yeah.
it's also live and we don't know what we're doing?
But this whole thing, he's just a poor old man. Is so crazy. It's just so bad faith
Yeah.
argument. It is. And I don't know how much Jimmy Lee would appreciate being referred to as some old man, by the way, either. Like, it's weird because Gokunaro has this way of insulting the people he's trying to defend. Like, you'll see when we get to Shoe Nice, he's always going, he's just a drunk. He's this alcoholic drunk.
Yeah.
And, like, he just writes him off as, and I find it very bizarre. I find it very demeaning the way he refers to these people as some old man.
Loves this
He's
idea.
not some old man. He's Jimmy Lee, the Jersey Outlaw.
Yeah, because he goes through with it. He does it.
Oh my God, dude. I'm sorry.
I feel like I have no control over this.
Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pleasure.
My pleasure.
I hope you'd
finish.
Yes, it's awkward. I know. Like with
Like the guy was racist, that his jokes that were clearly jokes were racist. And then 5 minutes after
Bro.
the old guy leaves, he says this.
the old guy leaves.
for banning dabbing.
There it is.
That was a brutal dab. He held the formation for
It's like a scary dab.
Hold on.
That was like a fucking jihad dab. That was like a fucking straight up Allah Akbar dab.
Here we go. We're going in slow mo now.
Wind up.
Whoa!
That was a brutal dab.
Damn.
Wasn't that about how they banned dabbing in Saudi Arabia or some shit?
No, I don't think that they banned it.
I don't remember.
Oh
this
man, that was so
video.
long ago.
That was
I don't remember.
That was a really brutal dab.
Dude, that's when the bombs go off.
Employee. Ooh.
He keeps referring to Dan too as an employee. If you've done your research, this is
Dan.
Dan.
God damn it. Yeah.
Dan,
okay.
the producer. It's got a name.
Yes. Anyway.
I treat my answer really. I just treat people with the same respect they give.
Anyway, we've talked about Jimmy Lee. Now let's hear what Jimmy Lee has to say. And we welcome to the show Jimmy Lee, the Jersey Outlaw. And with us today, we have
Hello.
Jimmy Lee, the Jersey Outlaw. Can you see and hear me, Jimmy? Are we doing a gag? We're doing a gag.
All right. Is that it?
That's it. Thanks for joining us.
Hi, kids. How are you?
Jimmy, nice to see you. How you been?
Well, I'm all right. I had a rough week there, Ethan. I went to my doctor to get my prostate checked, and I said, where do I put my pants? He said, next to mine. I left.
Nice.
How you been? How you been?
Good. I've missed those beautiful one-liners. Our podcast episode we did together. How did you feel about that episode? I mean, did you feel that I was rude to you there?
Well, there were a lot of comments that you were, and then I guess I got asked to leave, but didn't figure it out till the end. And I never had a problem with you, but I think people that watched it did. And some people said you're mean, and some people said I'm mean, and it was like a catch-22. But me being a performer, I know you mock me, and I mock people when I'm on the street. And, you know, I don't take that personal because that's part of the act. And, you know, being an entertainer, you have to roll with that.
So,
did you want fresh material?
It's always fresh. All your material's fresh.
You want a new joke?
Just give me whatever you like.
Well, I was with an orphan girl last night, made love, and then when I got done, she said she wanted to go to church to find her father. No good. I like that one.
That is good. It just took me a moment. I was processing.
I think I didn't get it.
She went to church to find her father being God, right?
Well, father, meaning she doesn't have a father, and
She's an orphan.
father in the church.
Yeah, it's a lot to chew on. That's a good
My
joke.
wife's giving me trouble. She's giving me trouble.
Why?
My wife's giving me trouble. I took her to the presidential suite at Motel 6, Hilla, and we're making love. And I said, honey, why are you so quiet? And she said, I'm in the bathroom, you idiot. And I said, stay there. I'm doing better without you. So we're not talking now.
That's a shame. I'm sorry to hear that.
There was, Ethan, a round bed above the, a round mirror above the bed. It said objects may appear larger than they actually are.
And so, right, of course.
And I told her she's a lousy cook. I said, if you could cook better, we could fire the chef. She said, if you could screw better, we could fire the chauffeur. You see, we're fighting, the wife and I.
If you could screw better, we could fire the chauffeur.
Yeah. In fact,
she's fucking the chauffeur. Right.
Yeah. Well, I told her last night, I said, do you want to have sex? She said, no. I said, is that your final answer? And she said, yes. So I phoned a friend. And that's when the fight started.
Well, that makes sense. You shouldn't be calling other women, Jimmy.
Yeah. So I'm still doing my thing.
Well, thank you for giving us a call. It was great to see you. This was great, though. That's some great material.
Thanks for having me on. You guys have a wonderful night.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, take care.
Thank you. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Superiority complex.
Okay, so Jimmy Lee had a very small following, if any at all. So Ethan felt that he could act that way toward him and he would get minimal backlash.
That's just, again, come on, dude.
But what happens when he treats another YouTuber with disrespect? Well, this is William Osman. He's an engineer who makes very creative and very interesting videos. Now, a while ago, his house actually burned down, and obviously that was a pretty, devastating experience for him. But one of the projects that he was working on was a beanie that talked, and it was made for Ethan specifically. And that video garnered a lot of attention, and finally, after about 5 months, William was invited onto the podcast. However, there was one small little issue with William's channel. He only had 600,000 subscribers.
Again, that's speculating. My issue... Okay.
That's not even really a small channel. I mean...
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah. To support the argument, I mean...
But, again, like...
When you look back at all of the YouTubers that have been on Ethan's podcast, there's not a single one with less than 1 million subscribers.
This whole argument...
right there.
Captain Disillusion.
Oh, yeah. Captain Disillusion, by the way, we literally, I love this guy. We flew him out and put him in a hotel so we could put him on. So, I mean, first of all, you're factually wrong.
Except Eric from Internet Comment
and Eric.
Etiquette.
We
Which
should
is a
say
great
too.
channel, and you should check it.
I had seen one of the many follow-up videos that this guy has done. Him acknowledge that was a mistake.
Okay, but
so he just to full disclosure, like he's aware of that is a false statement.
Whatever. I mean, we're reacting to the video that these people are not watching his follow-up.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. I'm just giving him. the
But
credit.
he is included always with Jack's films. And
That's not true. We had Eric on so many times without Jack. We had him on like more than anybody.
Yeah.
Jack's
Probably
Films
most
obviously
people,
has a lot of subscribers. So he's kind of supplementary, you know? And as well, Eric obviously is well known for bouncing on his boy's dick.
PewDiePie did nothing wrong.
Come the fuck on. It's not a multi-layered fucking issue. Don't say the N-word. Just don't say it.
But other than Eric, William was the first person to be invited onto the podcast with less than 1 million subs. You know, for once, Ethan
Wrong.
opened the doors for someone who was up and coming. So why do I
Or
say
Jimmy
this
Lee.
is an issue?
Yeah, what about Jimmy Lee? You just did a whole
just did
segment
the
on
whole
him.
segment on
Because he wasn't given a full episode. He was given a 20-minute time space on an episode.
They said we're going to be on for like 20 minutes. That doesn't make me feel like
Didn't
a
we
very
have
like,
you Among Us on the podcast?
Yeah, we did. He's not really a creator, though. He's more like internet folklore.
I guess.
So he says, so by the way, I didn't know that William made this video before he came on. Although it's good, at least, because he acknowledges that he knew what he was coming for. And the reason that he only was coming for 20 minutes, if you look at that episode, it was only an hour long. And I think the reason is that, again, like we did so many times, is we're experimenting and trying things. My idea was like, let me try it where we do this segment with William, and then we do the news, and that's the whole episode. It was only an hour long.
I think there was another segment before William came in too, but
Maybe.
yes, we were trying to do a more segmented, yes, like a talk show where.
And so, actually, I didn't know that he was sad that he wasn't going to get a full episode, and I do feel bad that we didn't give him a full episode, and we definitely should have. I agree with that, 1,000,000%, totally.
special guest, but sort of.
But it wasn't malice. That's what I want to say. It wasn't out of malice. It was really just out of. I was experimenting with different things on the podcast, and I was thoughtless. I mean, I'll say that for sure. But malice is. I mean, that's not true.
On like a temperate, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like supplemental to whatever show. So what we've learned is that we're not exciting enough.
Creeps online. I'm gonna teach these kids a lesson.
And when you
So, well, again, I didn't even know he made this video. If I did, I would have probably give him the full episode.
watch the episode, there is very little substance to this hour-long episode of the podcast, and William could have easily filled that time.
This is a very mediocre episode.
We're just sitting here.
You know, every
That's not a slight at William. We said that in all of our
Yeah.
episodes during that time. It was a joke.
time it's like, this is the best episode. No, this is a very mediocre episode. Let me be upfront with you.
But, okay, whatever, 20 minutes is still better than no time at all, right? So let's just see what they talk about.
So the story of this being's creation is also an interesting one. Interesting, nice word for tragic one.
I'll show you the fridge. We got.
That's the fridge.
Oh, where's the?
Fuck.
Oh, there they are.
Oh my god.
Look, what's the process like of like, okay, you go to the site, everything's gone. Like, what do you do?
It's a very lost feeling. It's not a good feeling. It's imagine everything stripped away. You don't know what you're doing the next day. You don't know what you're doing the next week. You don't know anything. And
What's the thing that you really were depressed about losing that maybe you didn't expect, but
it wasn't having
Seems
lost
like a
something. It
good
was just not being
conversation.
able
I
to
think
sort
I
of
can
jump
skip
back
this.
into everything as
Yeah.
instantaneously as you do every day.
So for the sake of saving you some time, they basically just talk about how his house burned down for a good 15 minutes of his 20 minutes. And obviously, if this were a full-fledged podcast, then it would make sense for them to go on about this for a while. But he only has 20 minutes. So basically, the majority of his time was spent talking about a devastating situation he endured. And to their credit, Ethan and Gila
What's
seem
the
like they
problem
do
with that?
care. But immediately after this, they transition swiftly.
So, just again to give context, he had a really viral video because he made a video about it on his channel. His house burned down. We're both from Ventura, incidentally, so I was like following that whole story. And he made a video about his house burning down and going through the rubble that went like super viral. So, I mean, to me, it seemed like a really interesting topic of conversation. So.
I also, this is a small point, but I do want to say, just because he keeps saying it, it was longer than 20 minutes.
Okay.
So, again, for all of that research, it's just like kind of fudging the number right
How
there.
long was it? Like 25 minutes?
I think it was a little bit longer than that even. It was close to a half hour.
Okay, so there you go.
27, but like, obviously, you're rounding down.
Yeah.
To make it seem
Into
bad.
the talking beanie.
Well, I'm happy that you made it out.
Me too.
I mean, you really saved the most important thing. Really,
I agree.
You went and you got the beanie. And
I'm not joking. This really was high on my priority list. Not specifically because of you, but because it was the video. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, because it was for you, Ethan.
Let me try this thing on. Let's see. Let's.
Oh.
Shit.
We got sound effects.
Turn it up. I don't see any problem here. I mean, we're just doing a segment like we
Nice.
planned. I'm just gonna
All
skip
right,
forward.
that's it.
Ventura,
You got promise I have seen.
Anyway, thank you, dude. God bless. They really
Oh, we
appreciate
talked
you. about his other video too, about the Vin Diesel thing. So I don't really
It
know.
would be perfect. But Ethan doesn't care to collaborate with people who are below him. He only looks above. And it's a bad fucking idea because you're gonna end up getting hit hard with a lot of people realizing that you don't care.
All right. God bless, man. Thanks. Just
That's
pure speculation.
Completely.
Yeah.
I would.
Cute.
I feel like none of this
Based on nothing.
did that. Yeah.
I mean, we chose to talk about what we cared about. That's our show. You.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't really see anything wrong with this part,
We
to be
are
honest. I
moving-
think he's stretching really far here.
On to the goddamn frickin' Ian's beat. This was great.
By the way, did you say that we just posted a video?
So right now we're having a really awkward moment, and that I'll own because again we were just starting. I think Dan had recently started, and we hadn't really figured out like how to do seat changes and stuff. And we had planned that we would move on and do the news thing, but William didn't really know if he should stay there or if he should move out.
Dan was gonna come in, right?
Oh, Dan was
and
going
do
to
the
come in and
news.
do the news. Yeah.
I don't think is that correct? I think it was actually Ian.
Or Ian. I don't
And it
remember
was that
who.
Ian was new, and it was one of the first times we were bringing in Ian for a segment.
Oh, I
You're
don't.
talking
that
about
might
the
be, yeah.
wasn't it the when we went to the Kanye thing?
Oh,
Is that right?
I don't remember.
I don't.
I honestly don't remember.
I'm
but
gonna
it
double
was-
check it right now. I'm almost certain that's what it was.
Well, it doesn't matter.
What
Well,
videos
upload?
I think it's.
Oh, is it this?
I think it's this.
Why you?
Oh, this.
This is awkward. I agree.
It's
I
not
mean-
our table.
Well, I don't know. I'm new here.
Yeah, the video's up. But at best, we'll finish a video. I don't know
Excuse
what's
me.
happening. It's very awkward. You would think that after 60 plus in-studio episodes, they would be better at transitioning guests. I agree. That's a legitimate criticism. For sure.
We were still live at the time.
We got a two-shot.
We would
right?
just cut this all
Do you
out.
guys mind? Yeah, we're
You know?
live. Do you guys mind swapping out?
That's fine.
This is.
Oh yeah.
This.
Yeah, because we're
We
actually
didn't
not
plan to
set
have
up.
two guests at once. Ian or William, God bless you. Everybody, please check out William's channel. I'm going to put a link in the description. Yeah, please leave that there
Oh,
forever.
yeah, right.
Forever. It is still there, by the way.
It's broken.
Okay, get that.
Bobby Lee, remember?
Throw that out the
Right.
window. All right, Ian, come on. Come get
Yeah,
ridiculed.
Ian.
And
By the
you
way,
would-
we only had 3 chairs in there, so. at
We
the
didn't have
time.
another camera set up.
was the
Yeah, it was
camera.
poorly thought out.
The thing
I'll,
is that-
I'll take the blame for that.
The thing is
Should've
that
anticipated
we
the
literally
switchover.
couldn't have 4 people in here and do the news segment. What I should have done is just continue to talk to him, but like I had this idea. Anyway, yeah, it was awkward, but there was no malice
Disrespect.
involved.
Put the guy's name in it. He has a fucking significant following. 600K is not nothing, man.
So wait, is he insignificant or is he big? You can't make up your mind about him.
Anyway, the viewers picked up on this very easily, and the title was changed. Although for some reason the booty doctor description was extended, so you can't see his name in recommended. And I do think that this lack of respect that is displayed by Ethan is largely to do with this fucking micromanaging of the podcast. We saw already that he has scripts for his podcast and he has questions, and clearly this is causing issues because he sticks too closely to his shitty scripts. You know, this is a fan and a fellow YouTuber who is very excited to come on, and rather than exploring his mind, you limited him to 2 things: Beanie and fucking fire. This also kind of explains why the Bill Burr podcast went so poorly.
Oh, well, before we get into Bill Burr, we have a call from yours truly, William Osman. Welcome back to the show. So, William, thank you for joining us. How did you feel about the video? You know, I never saw the video you made before you came on the show where you were saying that you were disappointed you were going to be on for 20 minutes. And I do want to say right off the bat that I should 100% have given you your own episode. At the time, we were trying to like segment it, and I was trying to do something.
Yeah,
it
you
was very
suck.
awkward. It was very awkward, and I should have given you your whole episode.
No, I mean, I think that like I don't honestly at the end of the day, like I don't really care. I think people make a bigger stink about it than they should. Yeah, like I think that you know nobody's perfect, And I think that you and Eli are like, some of the nicest people that I've met. And the decision to not have me on longer probably stemmed from maybe not thinking that it would be like as interesting to the podcast audience, which I totally get. Like as a content creator, you have to try to figure out what people want to see. And so I think it was just a kind of unfortunate situation where, it may have been deemed that people didn't want to see as much of William Osmond stuff, because at the time it was a much smaller channel. So it's not like something that has affected me greatly, and like I don't think about it every day. At the time though, it was maybe a little bit of a bummer to have not been included more, but that doesn't really change the way like you guys have been nice to me, even like especially that day or after the fact.
Well, I do definitely apologize. We should have included you in the whole episode for sure.
Yep.
That's it. That's really all there is to it. But actually, you are coming next week.
Yeah.
Next Friday, you will be in the studio for about 20 minutes. And then we'll have to move on.
That's fine. I'm a busy man.
Yeah. No, we're gonna do the full episode we should have done back then. But
awesome.
But well, what else? What really else is there to say?
I don't think anything. Like I think that people just like to sort of weaponize stuff that they see online, and to me it's not a big deal. Like everything I do is like trying to be creative and trying to entertain people, and like I've made decisions that like I'm going to show less of this or more of that because that's what I think people want, and so there's no hard feelings. There's nothing that like there's no stigma. There's no like I'm not mad at anybody and never have been mad at anybody. And so I think that's basically it to me. Like other people have talked about it online more than I've ever even thought about it. So
right,
like it's
well,
not,
thank you for saying that, and I do want to ask what is going on with your hair.
Oh, you want to see?
Let me see a profile. Yeah.
I let my caretaker cut my hair.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness,
God.
dude! Holy crap!
No, that's a quarantine.
With the beard and everything. I mean,
What do you think?
That's a quarantine special.
I think it's a quarantine special. Exactly.
Yeah, I tried to make her use a hedge trimmer, but it scared her. And then we
Isn't that
ended up using
dangerous?
garden. Yeah, we came to that conclusion.
That seems
it's
like
the first time she's ever given someone a haircut, so I think she did an okay job.
I like
It's
that
pretty
you guys
epic.
went down to the scalp on the side.
Yeah, she was trying to fade it.
Oh,
and,
really?
Like,
Okay.
my definition of a fade is sort of like a gradual change, right? Like it starts
Yeah.
at the skin and then it goes up. Her fade was just straight buzzer.
That's awesome.
And I was trying to like, communicate, hey, like a fade is like a transition. But it was too late at that point because the hair grows slower than you cut it.
Well, it looks great. I can't wait to see that beautiful head with all the attached hairs and everything. And we'll get into more detail on next week.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Sounds good.
Okay. Thanks for calling.
Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, talk
All right.
to you guys later.
All right. Talk.
Bye.
Bye. Welcome back. Now let's talk about Bill Burr.
This also kind of explains why the Bill Burr podcast went so poorly. But you see, the difference is that usually the person who Ethan brings on is well aware of who Ethan is. And so Ethan feels a degree of power, right? Because he's this authority figure.
I mean, again, it's really just you're speculating a lot, and you're using Jimmy Lee and William Osmond, two of our first episodes that they were awkward, as proof that I'm exhibiting power over the guests.
Whatever. But Bill Burr doesn't know who the fuck Ethan is, and he doesn't care. And Ethan went into it assuming that he would already have respect. He felt
That's outrageous,
That's true.
dude. If anything, if you watch back to Bill Burr, I'm painfully insecure. If anything, I mean,
Yeah.
I have an incredible reverence for Bill Burr, and so the fact that it was awkward was really just me being nervous and being insecure. What he doesn't mention in this part is that Bill Burr, so I was like, wow, okay, he left. And then Bill Burr reached out to us to come back on a second time. He reached out to us. And the second one, everyone thought went great. They said it was the redemption episode, right?
That was well after he released this video, though.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Okay, so fair enough to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you can watch this and then say I'm I'm superior. I mean, I see the opposite personally.
Like he didn't have to earn it.
But
And
it's-
Bill Burr's a very grounded guy, and he fucking shattered that illusion, and it was beautiful to see.
The great Bill Burr is here today.
I don't know about great. Give me somewhere
The
to go.
greatest.
Oh,
The
yeah.
great-
The greatest guy sitting across from you right now. The NCAA?
There's a lot going on for the great Bill Burr with the great.
What am I doing wrong
greatest
exactly?
Bill Burr.
I'm flattering.
I do mean that, by the way. I know it makes you uncomfortable.
It
but
does. One great was bad enough.
Does it? But you know that.
I like being appreciated.
Yeah. Okay.
Just say
Tone it
back with the person I appreciate.
So once again, the great, great mind.
That's his,
that I appreciate very much.
That's his finishing move.
Well, I love that moment.
What did I do
I love
wrong
everything
here?
you do. The great.
This is how you turn it around. This is how you turn it around.
Well,
Made you uncomfortable. Now you fucking sit here and compliment me. Those guys.
Very, very funny gentlemen. Good people.
Good people, yeah. There you go.
There's no
What are
context
you
of
gonna say,
anything that I'm
Tony,
watching.
you are the greatest comedian. You do it to everybody.
I don't. I swear to God, I don't.
No.
But you know what I'm gonna tell
kidding,
him?
man.
You know what
I'm
I'm gonna
kidding.
tell him? I'm gonna say I appreciate you.
I was really anxious at the time, to be
Mhm.
honest, and I was like beside myself with nerves with Bill Burr being here.
And
so,
that was just him being, like the way he is.
if you're familiar with Bill Burr,
Burr,
there's another comedian on YouTube who has a podcast on YouTube called Theo Vaughn, and he's been on our show. He's a super funny, awesome dude. And he had Bill Burr on there. And also, like me, Theo Vaughn's a huge fan of Bill Burr. And Bill Burr also just totally railroaded him, too. And they had like this really awkward thing. So when I went on Theo Vaughn's show, we were like it was like the Bill Burr Anonymous Club. Like we were all recovering. But I mean, this is not, I don't see me being superior. I see me just getting like, being very insecure, which is what I was,
Okay, cool. We don't. The great Bill Burr doesn't have time for that.
All right.
Now, I'm not ragging on him for being nervous. I'm ragging on him because his superiority complex was shattered.
There's no evidence of that. I didn't see any evidence for that.
And it was revealed that it's actually an underlying layer of insecurity that is driving him.
See, that's part of. I feel like that's a new thing. You're already worried about your daughter being sexually assaulted. How old's your daughter?
I don't think that is. I think that's you projecting your OCD on me. It's
you're talking about
that she said 3 words and she totally communicated like
right.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
I didn't see evidence for that at all.
It's cut up too. I don't even know what we were talking about here.
Yeah, it's so cut up.
Hearing you talk about her on the podcast.
Jesus Christ! Well, you're pretty perceptive. You think you care about your own child.
Listen, more than that.
He was busting my balls, and I was so anxious that I couldn't appreciate the fact that he was really just busting my balls and having
Right.
fun.
Yeah.
And so I was like, in my mind, I was like, oh, this is going awful. And I was trying, but I was like in my head, which is the worst.
Yeah.
While you're trying to be in the moment. The worst you could say, which plenty of people did say, is that I'm a bad interviewer and this was an awkward interview. All that's true. But what he's doing and what he's attempted to do throughout all this is to speculate about what my intentions are and what I meant and what I did. But none of it's true. And frankly, I don't really think it's supported by what he's showing either. I guess what he really does is he establishes like my character really early on, which is funny because the first thing with Leafy was flat out wrong. And so with the Leafy thing and the John Trump thing and all this, then you're like, okay, he's a really bad dude. And then you have no problem accepting all the speculative things about my intentions throughout the video.
And he also had a zillion kids, so I mean, yeah.
Really? How many
I
siblings?
mean, I just wanted, for the sake of brevity, skip. I know it's awkward. This feels like a child asking someone questions on career day. That's true. When you skip to the final boss.
Right.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly.
And now
I
what
own
for
that.
me to say that? Like,
Press F to pay respect to Ethan's ego. I definitely wish totally shattered. I've said this. I went on antidepressants the day of this. I went home and I was like,
remember
wow,
it
I'm
very
fucking.
clearly.
That was yeah.
Something's
burning.
Oh,
something's burning.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going. Superior, inferior. What?
That's why I'm here. He told me, he goes,
And now we have Bill Burr on the phone. No, we don't.
That's Burr. He's such a sweetheart.
Oh, this part's great.
Do
I
you
love
watch
this part.
YouTube videos at all?
Bonus goof. Here we go.
Hey, G-Sauce, retard here. And is Ethan Klein a joke thief?
No. Are you going to do what H3 does, where he goes against his morals for financial gain and then also lies to his viewers a lot? Do you going to do that as well? Also, are you going to steal content?
I don't know what he's referring to, but I didn't hear.
Ideas of other creators and then use them as your own and not tell anyone?
Shots. Yikes. Okay.
Well, according to Chad, he is. But Chad's name is also anything for views, so, doesn't exactly add credibility.
Ethan, stop stealing your jokes and stop telling the same ones, and you should be good.
Oh, because he stole the Vape Nation meme?
Oh, yeah, tell everyone. Don't tell them where they stole it from. Just say you stole it.
Yeah. The number one gem of Ethan Klein, Vape Nation, was a stolen idea from a friend, a close friend. And who's the type of person?
Shut up, team. I told you this. You're not allowed to repeat it.
Oh, this is getting spicy. But like, can you be honest with it? Like, who'd he take it from? Why you freaking blue balling me?
Language. Oh, we got something. $3 from Schmeichel44. We want to who Ethan stole a weapon from though. Oh yeah, I don't know if I can reveal that. But someone that Ethan was friends with.
Oh.
I'm not giving away more than that because I really can't say. Information of who it was isn't out there, so I can't say. Oh, we got something. Hang on. $3 from Zacharias. Oh well, Keen just gave it away. I just saw in the chat. Keen gave it away. There you go.
Wow, what
You got your answer. That's exclusive.
Okay. I mean, Ethan's kind of already admitted that in a way.
So, well, here, one day I was filming with Filthy Frank, and his producer was there, and he was vaping so hard. I was like, Dog, what is going on with like this vaping? He's like, yeah, man, it's Vape Nation. And I was like, wait, say that again? And I was like, holy fuck, like that's brilliant. Fucking Vape Nation.
Chad, Keem, can you tell everyone what's going on here exactly?
Yeah, okay, so first of all, let me talk about Chad. Anything for views. I don't know what this guy's problem is with me, but I've only met him once, okay? When Keemstar came on this podcast, he came with him unannounced, him and Andy Milonakis. And I was going to the I didn't know they were coming. I was going to the bathroom. Keemstar was already here. I was getting ready. And then Chad walks in the hallway, and he introduces himself. He goes, hi, I'm Chad. I talk shit about you all the time online. And I was like, okay. That's how he introduced himself to me. I says, okay, well, I'm sorry that you don't like me, but welcome to my office. So then he comes in, and Chad and Andy sit outside while Keemstar's doing the podcast. We have food. We serve them. It's very cordial. We have a good time. We go downstairs for a cigarette, and he goes, so tell me, is it true that you stole Vape Nation from Filthy Frank? This is before this, by the way. And I say, what? I've never heard that before. I've never heard that before. No, I mean, the whole video is improvised.
Right. I mean,
how could I possibly steal? Everything in that video is 100% improvised.
It's the two of us just out there without a plan recording.
Right.
And that's the video.
The fact, like the outfit, the character, that was all improvised. We just literally took clothes that was in our apartment.
Yeah.
The one thing that is true, which is what I've always admitted, is that Topher, George's, he worked with him on the producer side. He said Vape Nation. And George never said anything about it. And I was like, oh, that's such a funny term. In fact, Topher even helped me make the video. He helped us film the part.
Vaping.
Yeah, the part in the Central Park when I was doing the vape tricks. Topher helped me film that. And so I was like, that doesn't make any sense. It's all improvised. How could I even steal it from it? He goes, okay, I just wanted to know because that's what George says. But don't tell anyone. Right? And then, well, I was like, okay, well, no, it's not true. And then now he's out here telling everybody like, oh, don't say anything. Ethan stole Vape Nation. So I'm a joke thief because I stole the title for a fully improvised video. Okay. And finally I was like, I just called George because I was frankly really offended and hurt that he was telling people that. And I says, George, is it true that you were telling people that I stole the idea for Vape Nation? I didn't even know that you were planning to make a vape video. I didn't know. I just heard Topher say Vape Nation. I don't know if he was repeating you or what, but, and he goes, and he says that, In short, he says no. I'm gonna keep the conversation, the brief, out of respect for George. But he said I did not say that. I've never said that. So that's the totality of this entire rumor that Chad has been spreading about me. And I don't know what's this fucking guy's problem, why he always has such a hate boner for me. Like, but what the fuck? I don't know what to say to the guy. I really don't. I mean, he's friends with Keemstar, so.
And he's a...
Right, that's what he calls himself.
Garbage.
It's tattooed on him. So that's it. So no, of course. How can you steal something that's totally improvised? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So even after I explained that to him, he went and kept spreading the rumor. I don't really know what I don't really know what else to say about that, but okay.
Either that or just don't talk about it at all, because that's just straight drama, bro. Like, what the
So why did you put it in your video?
But now you're
then?
talking
yeah,
about
why did
it.
you put it in your video?
Fuck. Also, quick update. My ex-wife is now pregnant with my brother's child.
Uh-oh, cash over content, baby. Cash over.
In the podcast following
What was that?
Ethan-
Why did he like started filming and didn't cut it out when he had food in his mouth? Bro, what? What happened to spending hundreds of hours editing? You didn't cut the part where you were still chewing food? I gotta go back. I'm sorry.
Also, quick update. My ex-wife is now pregnant with my brother's child.
I'm sorry that I had to go back, but just please appreciate that he's eating food in the beginning of this clip.
In the podcast...
Why didn't he cut that? Why did he should have spent more hours editing.
Following Ethan's drunken rant about Keemstar, he makes this comment.
By the way, the show. I mean, look. I don't need to clickbait. We're okay, all right. I'm not like desperate for more clicks. To put it mildly.
Okay, so I see a humble brag and a way for you to deflect the criticism that you used PewDiePie's controversy to kind of clickbait people and make them watch the podcast. But when somebody else brings up your financial situation, it's a little different.
It was great. No, I'm so happy. Seems like you're doing all right for yourself.
Yeah, we got some walls. We got some curtains.
We're trying.
What?
You know, we're trying.
What does this prove?
It's been too
Still
long.
hustling.
What's this? What? Are you...
Yikes.
Wait, yikes? What yikes? What did I say?
I'm not getting the yikes there.
Ooh, you really didn't like that.
What? I had no problem with that. I was just goofing around.
What the heck?
Doesn't take a genius to see you did not like that. Tim.
What? I had no problem with that.
I think it does take a genius.
Apparently, yeah,
we're
genius
not
on
on
a
the-
level.
We're
He's
not
acting
on
like that's the
Chris's
most
level.
cringe thing that has been in the video so far. Like that really got him.
I totally didn't
That
have a problem
Ethan
with
is
that.
making a fuck ton of money from the podcast. That would be crazy. But since John hit a soft spot there,
That's
let me poke a little further into it. Ethan, you started the podcast because ad revenue was low. There's nothing wrong with that. If you need money to support yourself, then get it however you need. Just make sure your content doesn't suffer. But let me fill you guys in on a little juicy detail, little piece of nice meat. Do you want to know why Ethan is focused so heavily on the podcast over the last year? Why he hasn't made any original content in the last 4 months? Why his Twitter now links to the podcast channel instead of the
tell
main
me.
channel?
Yes.
It's because the podcast makes a fuck ton of money.
That's one reason. The other reason, which I've said many times, is that I just lost interest in making the same old videos.
Mhm.
It wasn't good. I didn't like doing it. The reaction video format and the criticism and all that is like the constant search for looking for videos and reaching for things to criticize. I didn't like it doing it anymore. I felt like
The whole thing became very negative for
Yeah,
us.
it
Just
was-
the workflow at home, we started to not even enjoy the process. And then all of a sudden we were working here and you get to go to an office and you get to work with other people.
Yes. I like the
And
collaborative
it gave us a stability. It felt like every week we know what we're doing.
Yes.
It's our decision. I don't know. There were different reasons.
But I feel like we just kind of moved on to something else, right? We decided we wanted to do this, and I mean, we spoke about it a lot, but
Yeah.
But ultimately, the creative process became really toxic for us, and we just didn't enjoy the process anymore. So the podcast was more fresh and exciting and fun, and yes, more lucrative too, which is all the more reason to continue to invest ourselves in it.
Let me break it down for you. Why is it that almost every YouTuber I know of has started a podcast this year? Well, the answer's pretty simple. They make money. It's because podcasts can get direct sponsors, and direct sponsors make a lot more than just regular content.
What kind of genius analysis is this? People make podcasts because they make money.
Here's where the problem arises. Each episode of the H3 podcast has 3 to 4 sponsors.
No!
What?
3 to 4. Dude, have you ever watched a podcast? They all have that many. In fact, if you look at like Joe Rogan or some of the really popular ones, they even have more, like 5 plus. Like Joe Rogan's the first like 10, 15 minutes is pure ads. So
have you ever watched a television show? You know how many advertisements?
Yeah, right.
You're like, this is not a high number.
But the thing is, I mean, just for context, though, like, I mean, we are definitely on par or even lower than most popular podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird it's just such a weird
That
take.
is insane.
It's not insane. It's the literal status quo.
Sponsored by MeUndies, Movement, NatureBox, and Dollar Shave Club. This episode is brought to you by sponsors.
They are making at least $10 per 1,000 views at the fucking bare minimum. Then add pre-roll ads, then add the separate clips channel, and then of course add the affiliate links when people actually purchase the products.
I don't have affiliate links. I've never put affiliate links in my fucking description.
That means that an average episode of the
What does he mean by that? I'm confused.
We put. I think he just means the links
the
to
URL.
the
Yeah.
sponsors.
No, we don't work on commission though.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I thought he meant like an Amazon, like you put a link.
That is technically what an affiliate. Right. I don't
Yeah.
think that's what he means though.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
could be wrong.
but I don't. Yeah, okay.
The H3 podcast is making conservatively $20,000. You can think I'm full of shit, but come on.
Dude, the thing is, you think $20,000 is a lot because as it appears that you're a young man that, I mean, I don't mean this as an insult. It just looks like you live with your parents still. I could be wrong about that. I'm not saying that to insult you. But we have 3 full-time employees and we have an office. Just do the math on that. Just like do a rough calculation on that. Our costs, $20,000 is not that much money. I mean, it's a lot of money, right? But it's not. I mean, but anyway, what is, I don't get the point of counting our money, like, as a strike
And he
against
said you
us.
only put 100,000 on it. I said, abso-fucking-lutely, I put 100,000 on it. Goes to the winner. Winner takes all.
Just think about it.
I don't even know what that was
podcast
about.
episode gets, let's say, average 1 million. Again, conservative. That's a lot of people watching your ads. But
Yes.
again, I have to
That's how
repeat,
business
there
works,
is
bro.
nothing wrong with that. Just
Okay.
make sure your content does not suffer. That's
I mean, isn't that your objective opinion?
Subjective.
subjective.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, subjective. Because I stopped making H3 videos and I started making the podcast.
That's the equation. That's the trade-off. Make more money, do it how you need, make better content, or at least the same degree. That's how.
I mean, live your life how you want. Don't tell me how to live my life.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what to
Or
tell you
what?
about that. Do whatever you want to do,
That's
man.
the equation that Who wrote.
Yeah.
Chop does it. That's what most relatively successful communities do. The videos improve over time, but yours don't. You spend an average of 10 full minutes each podcast talking about your sponsors. Instead of
That's
reading
not
a script and keeping
It's not 10 minutes, though. It's like 5.
Well,
we've had times in the beginning that it took us longer and we became better at doing it shorter.
we definitely used to drag.
But
those
that's
out.
also pretty
We were
normal in
goofing
the
around.
podcasting.
I think we were trying to goof it around and make it entertaining so we'd make it longer. And now we're just snappier because I think people I understand that it's better to just get through it.
Mhm.
Right.
And now our ad reads are probably more like 5 max. Like
3
even
to 5 minutes?
3.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like you said, Ela, that's totally normal.
3
to 5 minutes of ads in a 2-hour podcast.
2 to 3 hour podcast. Back
Yeah.
then, we were doing them longer.
And saving people some time. You drag it on. You talk about it. You ramble
Dude,
about.
he's making this sinister music, and he's talking about how my ad reads are long. This is made it into his video.
About it with Gila,
It's so
and
hot
it's recorded completely separately of the conversation as well. So it's like a legit commercial break.
Well, a short break. We will be back soon with your boy, John Tron. Thank you to MeUndies for sponsoring this.
Okay, I'm not going to watch me
Thank
doing
you.
ads.
Oh my God.
Legitimate break in the content. And sometimes these breaks are fucking literally 9 minutes long. Such like in the Ninja interview.
He was just
Dude, people watch. You're making this like, if people think it's too much, they can choose not to watch.
Mm-hmm.
People are watching the podcast. It's so bizarre.
Like, we're just kicking it, gaming.
That's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
That's
people
so
watched.
Cool. Guys, we're going to take a short break. We will be right back.
Welcome to running a business. I don't know what to tell you.
Do not go away. Do not leave. Dan cut me off. We'll be right back after this commercial break. See you guys soon. They've got Dr. Carl. You look like a...
in my life at this point, that I'm surprised you don't shoot yourself every time you fucking ramble, honestly, because it's nuts. The amount...
It just flashed on screen 9 minutes of improvised shilling.
On my face.
I don't really think
you know that...
Shilling is usually when you're being deceptive about, like, if you're being paid to promote a product but you don't disclose that. Like, this is all very upfront.
I think shilling just means like selling out in the way he's using it.
I guess.
Shit.
Yeah.
You look like a cream pie. I care about you guys and wish the best for you. Jesus, I really went on a tangent there.
Like, man, I've heard you ramble about Dollar Shave Club so many fucking times in my...
I frankly, okay.
life at this point.
Such a weird point to
I'm surprised
make.
you don't shoot yourself every time you fucking ramble, honestly, because it's nuts. The amount of time you've spent in your life talking about Dollar Shave Club.
Yeah, they pay me to talk about them, dude. Nobody's paying. I mean, look, yeah, they're a sponsor. I don't know what to say, man. You never listen to radio or podcasts or anything?
You don't even shave.
Anyway.
So now we understand why the main channel has suffered so much. It's because why fucking bother making high quality content that takes you potentially hundreds of hours to make when you're gonna make like $500 off the AdSense? You know, why not?
Exactly. You nailed it on the head, dude.
Fucking
I mean,
sit
that
down,
is one point.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. What's wrong with that?
to somebody or talk to your wife who will barely respond, and
Got her.
you know, you'll make 20 to 40K.
Yeah.
In a 2 hour
No
span.
brainer, right?
That's why the podcast is twice a week. It's so that he can make twice as much money.
Wrong. We did it twice a week because we thought that as long as we're focused on the podcast, let's do it more frequently.
That also
that's
allowed
why.
us to spread the ads over more episodes.
Mhm.
To
Right.
basically do exactly what he's criticizing, to have the ad breaks be less. If we're going to have 4 ads, let's do 2 a week.
Exactly. We didn't get more
and then
ads
we
as a result.
decided that it was too much, and we went back to 1, actually.
Well, we went back to 1 when the quarantine happened, and the reason is because I started investing myself in the videos, right? I needed more time. Like the Keemstar and the Some Ordinary Gamer, I spent a lot of time on those videos because it was a topic I was passionate about, and I was like, you know what, fuck, I want to talk about this stuff. So there you go.
While being half as entertaining.
I mean, in your opinion, don't watch.
Seriously though, the podcasts where there's no guest are terrible.
Okay, so we are going to skip chapter 7 and 8 because it's a long video, and I feel like I don't need to address these points because chapter 7's about that I'm not funny, and that's totally fine. I mean, I'm not going to fight him and try to argue that I'm funny. I mean, he's entitled to think I'm not funny. Then chapter 8 is about that we sometimes misreport things and get information wrong, and that I totally own. You know, sometimes I put my foot in my mouth and I say the wrong stuff. So, you know, you can watch that part. I don't need to respond to it because I own it. You're right. I get stuff wrong all the time on this podcast, so that's fine. Okay, so chapter 9.
A poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage. And then is heard no more.
Death.
Okay. All right. Now I'm going to discuss one last issue that I have with you. If I hadn't seen this, I would not have made this video. In the 27th
Must be
podcast
good.
you made, you had an entire segment where you talked about Shoe Nice.
And I was thinking about having him on the podcast because he's just such a wild card, such a lunatic. Get him to come in here and eat some deodorant or something. And he was like, I'll be in LA in a couple of weeks or next month. Or it was very open-ended. I was like, okay, well, I'll let you know.
So we discussed maybe doing a collab or a podcast. I don't even remember something.
Right.
And it was just in an email, and then we just didn't.
We just never followed up. We're like,
And you featured a video of him ranting about you and Filthy Frank, and he said some derogatory comments about you and Gila, and it was basically just him making himself look like an asshole.
Like he's obsessed with insulting you specifically. I love the twist anti-Semitic at the end.
So for those of you who don't know, Shoe Nice is a crippling alcoholic. He got really popular.
That's so... I feel like that's really rude. He's a crippling... This is what I was saying. Like, I never said anything that mean about him.
Mm-hmm.
You're a crippling alcoholic? Shoe Nice is a... Dude, I have a lot of history with Shoe Nice. We are totally cool with Shoe.
In 2011, 2012, for some videos of him basically slamming liters of alcohol within a few seconds.
Get sad.
That's not all he's famous for. How dare you? How dare you diminish Shoe Nice? Dude, Shoe Nice is famous for eating deodorant, toothpaste, paint, toilet paper. He's basically the Billy Goat of YouTube. He got famous for eating and doing crazy shit, like consuming crazy shit. It's not just about the alcohol.
Shoe Nice.
Shoe Nice, baby. The legend.
Me and my elementary school friends used to watch Shoe Nice all the time. And watching his videos, it does not take a genius to know that this guy is not in a good place. He is. He's a raging alcoholic. And
dude, why do you keep insulting Shoe? He's a raging alcoholic.
I mean, he goes through phases. It's not...
Yeah.
But, a little more complicated than that.
But he's almost writing him off as like, Shoe Nice, he's an alcoholic. You can't... Again, he's like SJWing for Shoe Nice. You can't say anything about Shoe Nice. He's a alcoholic. Dude, Shoe Nice is my dog. I don't know what you're talking about.
If you've ever seen his Vice documentary, which I recommend, you can see that the guy is not all there. He has some issues, okay? And deep down, it seems like his intentions are good in general.
I agree.
But there's a lot of issues to be unraveled.
When was the last time I seen my son? That little spoiled rotten brat. When you see him again, tell him to tell his mom, dirty bitch, I'm getting half. We gotta finish this. We gotta...
You know, he's a very interesting guy, a very interesting case study. And
Okay.
Ethan is aware of all that, and he must think he's interesting too because he used him as a punching bag in front of his audience of over 1 million.
And I'm pretty sure he's drunk all the time. He gets drunk. He's done this about 20 times, makes this anti-Semitic ramble, and then he erases it when he sobers up. These are pretty entertaining, and so I'm kind of into like Shoe Nice hate videos now.
And he was aware of that when he gave Shoe Nice false hope of being on the podcast.
My biggest concern was I don't want him in this office, not only because I'm afraid he's going to try to kill somebody, but I also don't trust him with the address. I think he would like post it on Twitter immediately, just out of a drunk vengeance. I think he would be an interesting podcast guest, but I would want like legit security. I would want him patted down before he entered. Yeah, handcuffed.
Look, I love Shoe Nice, but he's pretty wild. I mean, I was playing it up though, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I was goofing on Shoe Nice for sure, but I don't know why he's placed in this position of guarding. He's like guarding. Yeah, he's so fragile, the poor Shoe Nice. Me and Shoe Nice have been going back and forth for years. Like, there's so much history between me and Shoe. And he was the reason we were doing this, by the way, with dunking on him, is because he was, here, I have these. He was calling Hila like an Israeli whore and shit. Like, here, let me see. I've got all these great Shoe Nice takes. Here. He said, he just started tweeting out all this crazy shit. He goes, don't give single fuck about his subscribers. Jewish people are greedy and only care for themselves, and Hila is a whore. He said, what the fuck is wrong with you? He said, fuck up, dickhead. You were my help. Now Shoe Nice trolls you until I die. Like, he's a character, you know? Anyway, here's another one. He said, fuck off. Hila is a whore from Israel. And Hila famously said, slam some more toilet paper to clean the shit that's been coming out of your mouth. I mean, it's been a back and forth with Shoe, but it is all love. I know it doesn't seem that way at times, but it really is all love.
We'll have to restrain him. It'll be like a scene out of Silence of the Lambs where he's just sitting in a chair. We'll have to muzzle him, put a mask on him.
Because Ethan does not care about people's feelings on an individual level.
That's
on a grand scale.
What are you based? That's just come on,
Weird.
man. That's just not right.
He cares what people think, but on an individual level, he does not. Unless, of course, you have something to offer him. Now,
again, okay, you're
kind of weird to think that you know all that. I don't know.
he only brought him up in this one segment, right? That's, you know, you bring up Shoe Nice once, he doesn't really know how he'll react. It's not a big deal, honestly. I would have definitely overlooked it because, you know, Shoe Nice probably enjoyed the attention.
Yep.
But now here we are. It's been a year since that podcast, and Ethan's had a year to develop as a podcast maker, as a host. And well, he decided to add Shoe Nice again.
Okay, so this clip again is totally bad faith criticism, and I'll tell you why. I'll play the video and I'll show you.
Shoe Nice is a fucking lunatic. In other news, so apparently Shoe Nice has like 20 different accounts, and he switches between them. Shoe Nice loves Hila and wishes she would forgive him. If you guys don't know, he had called you a Jewish whore or something, something sweet like that. Shoe Nice, believe it. Exclamation. I believe Ethan is willing to forgive.
The fact that he took that screenshot should tell you all you need to know about Shoe Nice. You know what I mean? Like, that's an image he took from his channel.
Shoe Nice deleted videos. To see Shoe Nice would be legendary. The real Shoe Nice deleted videos. Wish upon a star, bro. Shoe Nice.
Dude, do you guys understand? He literally has 50 alt accounts, and he commented and upvoted all of them. It was literally the craziest thing I've ever seen. Like, oh my God, why are you being such a he's being such a social justice warrior. He's so offendable. This edgy kid is so offendable for Shoe Nice.
A mental sad man.
This is hilarious. This is crazy. Come on.
Never duplicate it. Give this a thumbs up, everyone. Shoe Nice exposed. I will come to Cali, bro. Let me know. Are you fucking mind blown yet?
How long did this take him to do?
Mind blowing.
Are you mind blown yet?
Brought him up for a whole about 6 minutes.
Yes.
Talked about how he has 50 different YouTube accounts, and he basically likes his own comment and comments on his comments, and like makes it so that he rises to the top. Basically calling him out for acting like an insane person.
I emailed him, and this fucking psycho that spent 5 hours replying 100 times, I can't get a hold of him. I have no way of getting a hold of him.
Even that one, I don't really care. Because, you know, it's kind of an interesting tidbit, a weird thing that Shoe Nice did.
It's an interesting tidbit. The dude made 50 comments from 50 different Shoe Nice channels. That's more than an interesting tidbit. That's incredible.
It's the next one that really kind of gets me.
Today we've got a special
you guys are gonna
presentation
love
put
this.
together of Know Your Meme featuring the one and only Shoe Nice.
You guys are going to love
the
this.
line here. Let's get started.
Okay, so on the next podcast, he has a 20-minute segment about, get this, him quizzing one of his viewers about how fucked up Shoe Nice is.
But wait for
Putting
it, guys.
his mental illness on fucking full blast.
Absolutely.
Joe, you're on the air.
Not really his mental illness.
not.
That's really putting words in. That's not really what this is.
To Know Your Meme. Joe, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. Even better now I'm talking to my favorite couple on YouTube.
Oh, thank you, Joe. You're too kind, too kind. Do you know Shoe Nice? Are you ready to win a Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus?
And you can say it's all in good fun, you know, there's no negative intention, but I know in my head, that Ethan gets some sick pleasure from putting him on blast.
So this is one of my favorite moments. He goes, you might say it's all in good fun, but I know in my head that it's not. I was like, okay, dude, well, you don't really know.
Nope.
You don't really know. And again, that's the problem with this whole video is that it's all speculation. It's all speculation that's like shrouded in the most cynical possible interpretation that almost doesn't even skirt against the possibility of reality.
Like that.
So you said he chained himself and he shit himself in a diaper and fasted for 4 to 5 days. Did he achieve success in his hunger strike?
No, I think he was actually forcibly removed at some point, but we did not have Fountain Day that year. So
that story definitely lines up with the Shoe Nice we all know and love. So I have no problem stretching my imagination to believe that.
For better or for worse.
But like any spoiled child, he does not know when to quit.
It's a segment, dude.
A spoiled child.
That just shows what a decent, kind-hearted
But wait, the best part's coming
man
up.
you are. Now, I remind you, the objective is to get into the shoe itself.
I got to get more depraved.
Hila said to him, slam some more toilet paper to clean the shit that's been coming out of your mouth. What provoked this from Hila?
He called you Israeli whore, and I'm so sorry. That's horrible.
Well, Joe, you are entering the mind of Shoe, and I like to see that. You've dropped all rationale, all reason.
Totally fucking bonkers is what it is.
50 channels.
Imagine having that much free time. So this is what we're dealing with here, folks.
So, well, let me wait for him to comment.
How many times has Shoe Nice
bashes you in
Okay,
your
so check this out.
alcohol poisoning?
So let's just enter Ethan's mind right now, okay? Shoe Nice, over a year ago, made a 60-second video where he basically bashes you.
So let me show you guys what really happened on that segment.
Yeah.
And this proves to you beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is a bad faith criticism. Now, you know he watched this clip, clearly. But what he doesn't tell you is that Shoe Nice was a willing participant in this segment, and he provided the answer to all the questions. And when the person gave their answer, I would go, what is the answer? Shoe Nice, tell us. And listen to this.
This is really fucking this up. Okay.
Yeah, well, what happened is that was my drinking
You
days.
recognize
I've been
that?
sober
It's
since
Shoe
last
Nice.
Christmas Eve. But Ethan and me had talked on an email, and I was heading out to California, and Ethan's like, it would be great for us to get together. And I emailed Ethan a few more times, and it came up, you know, he wouldn't reply to me. And I was just like, well, can you let me know within the day? And then I was just on Twitter, and I'm a ball buster. So I just, you know, I said, hey, Hila, you know, you're a Jewish whore. And I mean, no, I'm sorry, you're a whore from Israel. That's what I said. If she was from Tennessee, she would have been a whore from Tennessee. But yeah, I wanted to take that back so bad. I mean, I don't even remember typing it, to be honest with you. No.
Well, Joe, you are correct in this point.
By the way, that whole thing is, well, anyway, it's part of our beautiful history with Shoe Nice.
But it was just a segment, and
Wait, here's another one, Hila.
Accounts. I think that's the limit that YouTube gives
He goes,
you. But they have
he goes,
lot to coordinate.
He goes, Ethan's making fun of how many times he got alcohol poisoning. It's Shoe Nice's question.
All right. I don't remember this being this hard.
I have 50 YouTube accounts.
Oh,
I
how
think
many
that's
accounts?
the limit that YouTube gives you. But they have all history.
He maxed it
they
out.
have subscriber
50, bro.
videos on them. They're really not ghost accounts. They all have history
And they're all real.
interaction. I use them exactly how I got.
So the point is, right?
Yeah.
That he makes it look like we're just shitting on Shoe Nice, but he neglects to mention that Shoe Nice is participating. It's a collaborative effort. that
Yeah,
we
it
did
was
together.
actually a really fun thing to do together.
that's
and
just
we
a
did it with other people too.
And he kind of set it up as if you had led him on while, you know, failing to include this part that he was led on. We did a segment with him, just like you said that you would.
And
Right.
also,
We did do a
We've
segment.
done this Know Your Meme with a lot of people, right? Where they give us answers, and then we quiz someone, and then we play their answers. So it is a collaborative effort. And again, it's just a total bad faith argument to neglect to say that. The truth is that if he showed that, he wouldn't probably just cut this whole section out, because there's really nothing to criticize us for Shoe Nice, in my opinion. I mean, really.
And your wife to his audience of, let's say, max 3,000 people, because, well, Shoe Nice's channel, the one that he got popular on, got taken down by YouTube. I wonder why. A big surprise. So now, after having all that progress reset, he's basically at square one. And so he has he has no audience, really. He has some sick people who enjoy watching a man fall into fucking misery. And Ethan, being one of those people, decides to take this clip and fucking put it on blast to over 1 million people.
Anyway, I'm going to
Video
skip this
bashing or
part.
Making feel that you
So he erases it on one channel, re-uploads it on another, and it's just, he's just on another level.
So because Shoe Nice made a video bashing your wife, you feel that you have a moral authority to put him on blast in front of millions of people.
Bro, how deeply is he reading into this?
We talk about Shoe Nice all the time. It's really got nothing to do with moral authority or anything.
On a podcast where you're making $20K. And
So?
Shoe Nice is making nothing. And just when you think it couldn't go any deeper, you find out that Ethan is actually entertaining the idea of taking the bullying further.
You know what?
The bullying? Listen to how sensitive you are. He's so sensitive for Shoe Nice. What happened, Dan?
Oh.
The TV shut off. Oh, it's back. He's so sensitive for poor Shoe Nice.
A Howard Stern whack pack that we want to build of our own. Shoe Nice is like...
Anyway, you know what? I've seen enough. I get it. Yeah. Let's have the man himself, Shoe Nice, call in to discuss. There he is.
Hey. You can go horizontal if you wanna turn it the other way.
I mean, as long as you guys
That's
can
fine.
see me. and
Yeah, I
hear-
guess it's fine. We see you.
Yeah.
Shoe.
I got everything balanced.
Shoe, tell me. First of all, thank you for calling in. Just broadly, what did you think about Gokinaro's video?
That guy is a complete idiot. Is that the camera?
That is the camera.
Yeah. Listen, he could have done that whole video, Ethan. He didn't have to blow your head off and then throw an imitation of my son at the end.
Mm-hmm.
It almost looked like my kid killed you.
Right.
So, I mean, I was just like, dude, can you edit it? But it already blew up. No, I don't want to sneeze.
Wait, so you talked with him?
Yeah, oh yeah. Right in the beginning it came out. And everybody mediocre. And it just was like, dude, I'm not going to watch this. And no, you got to watch it, dude. Your son's in it. I'm like, what? Oh, maybe my son and this dude did something. And then I go through, and I see you sitting there. And this dude comes up and just, why couldn't he just hacked your YouTube or something? The death of H3H3, you're not going anywhere. And I'm just like, dude, sorry. And then it'll never stop. It's just like this cult thing of keeping up that video.
And I didn't know that you asked him to edit out the end. Why did you ask him to do that?
You there?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was saying.
Oh, I got you. Sorry, Mike. You said.
I was saying I didn't know that you.
I'm sober, bro. Trust me, I'm sober 30 days today.
Congratulations, that's awesome.
Last time I talked to you guys, I was in a blackout.
Well, that makes sense considering the context of what happened.
I wanted him to take it out not only for why are you just going to execute somebody for a video and views, and I just haven't talked to my son in so long. Lost the kid on opiates, and he's going to throw in his buddy. I mean, who doesn't even have the looks to be a shoey. And I'm just like, change it up, dude. Change it up. There's so many edits on that video now.
And what did he say when you asked him to remove it?
Dude, I spent hours on this. I said, dude, I know, but you shouldn't even have put me in the end of the whole thing. It's just the way it all came together. Blow off Ethan's head. Shoe Nice Jr.
Right. The whole point.
I'm sorry.
I was saying the whole ending part was saying that that we were mean and rude to you, but I feel like we're bros. I feel like that point didn't really make sense.
Yo, it's the sheep of the YouTube. I bust balls on you guys, PewDiePie, everybody for years. They don't get mad, the creators. It's the fans that feed the flame. And I've known you guys forever. And I'm just like, oh, email, message. Dude, H3H3 is just... I said, I'm using H3H3, all right? I'm the one that made up 60 accounts and went in and got all the comments. And they finally just said, listen, you got to have this guy on the show.
Exactly. I mean, he criticized me for making fun of the fact that you left 100 comments from 100 different accounts. That is ridiculous.
How is he going to figure this out in here and blame you is what I'm wondering.
Right.
I know you're going to watch this Broken Arrow. I just don't know your name.
Broken Arrow.
That's what I call you. Dude, there's hundreds and hundreds of people from mediocre to, everybody tries to figure this out, and maybe it's just a big act. I don't know. They shouldn't have shot you, Ethan. That's all I'm saying.
Well, well, thank
Can
you
you
for saying
take
that.
sips during this live stream?
You can absolutely take sips, 100%. Now, Shu, there was a.
What is that? Coffee?
Yeah.
Shu, did you?
I had to quit drinking. My liver was going to shut down, and I stopped enough so the liver turns back around. There's a certain point, and you get to the top, and if you don't change it, it's too late.
Well, I'm glad you're changing it.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a UFC fighter by the time I'm
Yeah, I think so too. You know what's funny? I remember when that Go Canaro video came out, you were sober and you were like super healthy, and he kept referring to you as an alcoholic, like you were some helpless alcoholic that I shouldn't make fun
Listen,
of.
alcoholism was made up for the weak-minded. I'm a raging drunk. I've dropped opiates in one day. If I ever did heroin, I know I could quit that in a day. Alcohol, it's just mind over matter. I don't have a mind, so it don't matter. And I'm just like, hey, Amy, you need a bunch of strangers to tell you, oh, you got to quit drinking, buddy. I was a sponsor for like 2 weeks. Dude kept calling me in the middle of the night. I need a drink, bro. I'm like, well, hurry up. The bar's going to close in an hour. I'll buy you one. And like the 12 steps, I'm sorry.
That's a
Some
bad
people
sponsor,
need it.
Shu.
Half of an AA meeting is literally the judge told you, smarten up your act.
Yeah.
You get a DUI, you got to show the judge up. I'm going to anger management. I don't hit my girl anymore. That's not me. I'm just saying people at DWIs.
Just Shu, what did you think about him just writing you off as an alcoholic, though? And he kept referring to you like, oh, he's an alcoholic. He's an alcoholic.
I don't know. Maybe he had that problem in his family. I don't know. He's doing crystal meth off his AA book. I have no idea.
And then
The
another.
dude's pretty obsessed about the video, and I'm just like, leave me alone. I didn't say that, but
Another interesting revelation is that you claim, because there's a whole conspiracy that I removed his videos, but I saw a tweet of you, or an email and a tweet that says that you reported it, and you.
I reported it every time. I got my own personal moderator. I got so much hate that they literally put one lady to me and said, listen, we're gonna watch. And they literally, my number one hater, he's out of prison for child porn. My other hater got doxxed by a dude. He's been, the Shoe Nice hate is slowly but surely imploding. I knew it would.
But
Good always wins over evil, right, Ela?
That's right.
But so are you saying
I just
that it
forgot everybody else's name for a second.
it was you who
But
reported?
this is like right here. I'm sitting at the table with you guys.
Hell yeah, dude.
yeah. Your shot is
noticed,
weird.
I'm blind. I just noticed your heads are way in the back. I'm on a cell phone.
It's a weird shot, but
way back.
it's gonna look better on the show.
Sorry, Ethan. Go ahead, bro.
Shu, you.
I'm trying to learn how to listen and not ramble on.
That's
you know?
okay. It's all right. It's, you know.
The marijuana use has tripled since I quit alcohol. Oh, you're not sober. You smoke weed. Chill, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was at the AA meeting last night.
Shu, so it was you. You reported his videos to YouTube and got them removed.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. I said, dude, you should have just came and asked me. So Broken Arrow, I reported your video on the main channel. The second time when your idiot buddy did it, and I'll keep doing it for the rest of my life.
Shu!
Never mess with somebody that has nothing to lose.
Oh.
Thank you.
So what did you tell your YouTube rep?
Don't forget to subscribe to Shoe Nice. Zach said I could throw that in.
Subscribe.
Yeah.
What channel are we subscribing to now?
Which one of your 50 channels?
It's always been it's Shoe Nice 22 forever now.
Okay.
That
Shoe
was
Nice
my
22.
big mistake. I think we talked about that. Changing the name all the time. It's
Shoe
so
Nice
weird.
22,
SEO.
and on Cameo, you're killing it on Cameo, right?
Shoe Nice 22.
That's how I make a living now. You guys started it out. That Steve Will Do It told me about it, and you guys bought a bunch of them. And everybody that watches your vids, it's just in archives. What's this Cameo? Oh my God! And then they come in, they get them. Birthdays and coronavirus. People are just all depressed.
Oh, really?
I come in. Pikachu. and they're happy for 5 minutes.
So hit.
I had
Shoe
to raise
Nice.
my price up to 20 though.
Hey,
I was selling myself for a Jimmy John sub, bro.
So Shoe Nice on
$20
Cameo.
flat rate.
Flat rate. You get the
I
whole
think that's
package.
a
People
good
around me
price.
that are charging 50. I don't even
Yeah.
know them. Sorry.
Shoe Nice 22 on Cameo. Shoe Nice 22 on YouTube. So
We'll get them links in there after. That's all, bro.
absolutely.
Thanks. See you guys later, man. No, I just kidding.
Shoot, what do you tell your YouTube rep when you report his videos?
This is usually just reporting and flagging just to get somebody's vid shut down. Never done it in my life. I hate doxers. I hate people that send a pizza to your house, the people that swat somebody. But no, this was more personal. And I tried to tell this dude, you know what I mean? He looks like some kind of a bird on a fence, all on meth. You know, just leave me alone, Gonk. Fuck out of my life.
Shoot, you are. I will always say you have.
I got grown men on puppets for years. I don't know what it is. All I'm doing is eating toilet paper, guys. Leave me alone.
I'm with you, Shoe.
Actually, I looked it up. I Googled it. It's called Celebrity Worship Syndrome, CWS. Look it up. There's this dudes that can't get over me. No matter what I do in life, I slam a keg of beer every day. I go out and feed the homeless. I fix my life. I got a good job with Cameo. It's never good enough for the Pencil Dick Puppet Club.
Well, it's good enough for me. I'm proud of you that you're sober and you're making a living on Cameo. and I hope that all of our fans go purchase a Cameo for $20 flat.
Why don't you have me and Keemstar fight, dude, and you be my sponsors? Nobody sleeps with their USC buzz.
Shoot.
What's up, Keemstar? What's up, Keemstar?
Shoot, speaking
Your
of
beard
Keemstar.
looks like the backside of a rooster. What's that, bro?
I wanted to ask you about, because Keemstar accused you of being a rapist, didn't he?
Yeah, but the sad thing is about Keemstar is his anger, and it probably way before YouTube, has always got the better of him. You know what I mean?
Most definitely.
You just act angry, dude, or annoyed, but I love the way you do it, bro. It's absolutely beautiful.
So what is it? Do you have anything to say to Keemstar?
I just wanted to say that back in the day, I was famous. It was me, Jenna Gargles, and a bunch of people just hanging out watching Shane Dawson. You were around a little bit. And then RWJ, if you got on that show, that was the holy boom. It rose you to the top. And the next day I wake up, I got 50,000 subscribers. And everybody's like, oh. So I got like White Boy 7th, Boogie 2988 when he was still fat. And we're just like hanging out, and everybody's Furious Pete, LA Beast, Max Mofo. He talks about me all the time because I made his channel. People don't realize how the basic is Filthy Frank, Max Mofo, and iDubbbz. I won't say anything. There's only one set of hands throwing them eggs. But yeah, man, he just gave me a huge shout out yesterday for Cameo. He bought a bunch of cameos and he put me on his channel. Some people have respect for helping you, but some people don't. Like I helped out Queefy Leafy, LA Breast. Who else did I help out? I don't mean that. But Drama Skirt, right? I thought Keemstar was different than Drama Alert. I always heard Drama Alert H3H3. Jake Paul sleeping with his brother Logan. And I'm just like, you know, I come in and on my Twitter, I was big. I mean, you guys remember. And I called you a name, and Keemstar, first thing out of his show, dun, 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 Shoe Nice calls Elon Ethan, blah, blah, blah. So I come in, yeah, whatever. So he never really liked me. So then I did a parody of him. And let's get right into the shoes. I had the everything, and he just got mad and mad and mad. And hit one tweet. Here it is right here. Excuse me, guys. I lost my Marge Simpson voice quitting drinking. I'll try it.
Yeah.
Do the dishes, Marge. We don't have any.
That's pretty
There it
good.
went. So, I was just going to go to sleep, but I just found out Shoe Nice rapes kids. FML. And there's like 4,000 people. You know what I mean? You can dox me. You can, take my mom's ashes and throw them into a pool. Don't say I rape kids. So I go into his messages, DMs. I'm like, Keemstar, I'll show you the proof. These guys are la 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 la. He sends me back this video. Listen, Shoenice. People a lot bigger than you have messed with me. So don't. So I send him the proof. He just blocks me. Disappears for years. And then the guy he got the info off of, my Google Hangout haters, the leader, gets arrested for child porn distribution. Now I'm just thinking, oh my God, this guy's a metal guitar player. Was he a real pedophile? Or was he trying to dox me or one of my, buddies that went after him? I'm hoping it's the second. You know what I mean? I'm hoping he's stuck on a sex offenders list for the rest of his life for taking that kind of devil shit and putting it on me. If he was a pedo, he was a pedo. Either way, so Keemstar, years later, he's got to post it. He's fighting with H3H3, and because you did a podcast with me, he's like, oh, I didn't even watch it. And he's just like, dude. So I emailed him. He didn't return it. He threw up that video on Broken Arrow. I said, I can't believe this guy with this many subs and this much money he's making would put up a video that was already taken down twice by YouTube. And, it might not even have been the reports from people. It might have just been because YouTube picks up a video. It's like when you get that train wreck. That's why I don't watch Live Leak. It was good money. When they stopped the money, I was out of there. That desensitizes the soul, watching Live Leak all day. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I'm going to cough real quick. Like I said, the marijuana uses. So yeah, man, this dude is a complete idiot. He wants to fight back and forth with you. That's fine. I don't have any problem with this dude. Just don't say I rape kids, bro. All right, I know you're watching, Keem, and I got you that strike, and you're going to not upload for a week. Lessons learned, bro.
Did he ever apologize for accusing you of being a rapist?
He's an asshole.
He just blocked you. He blocked you.
Yeah, he blocked me on Twitter. Because, this family's sick of it. These are real people's names, that these people that hate me, there's a real dark hate Shoenice world. I don't know where they hang out in some, but they're kind of evil. Their leader was a child porn distributor, and they still wanted to hang out with this guy. Well, I wish he would just make a video and tell you about it. A fucking pedophile. He's in prison. Write him a letter.
So, I thought it was kind of rich how Keemstar uploads a video. Gokinaro's like, he was mean to Shoenice, but Keemstar called you a fucking rapist. I think that's a little meaner.
Listen, the whole thing was like, I emailed him this whole thing, and I said, I'm going to sue you, dude. That's libel and slander. You told 2 or 3 million. I know people that got 5,000 for 10 times less of an audience. And I think he was trying to clean up his act by throwing that up. Oh, look at you don't remember this shit? I remember everything. You're an idiot, Keemstar. You and Broken Arrow, go start some freaking, country band. We all just a bunch of pencil dicks.
Shoe, I love you.
Oh, yeah, my time's up, but see, I'm doing better. I don't 40 emails anymore, just 4 to 10.
No, you've been great. No, you can talk. You can spam Zach all you want.
I'll get a better microphone that's not swinging in the wind. But these are tight.
Shoe 22, Shoenice 22 on Cameo and YouTube.
I just want to put one thing out on the record forever.
Yeah.
Ethan and Eel and me have been getting along forever. I knew these guys before Bait Nation. And Gonkinero, Keemstar, you're a lesbian book club. Thank you.
Thank you, Shoe.
All right, bro.
Thank you, Shoe.
Take care, buddy.
All right. Oh, yeah, subscribe.
Subscribe.
So, this is actually a crazy revelation that Shoenice was offended that Gokinaro used his son to murder
Broken
us.
Arrow.
Broken Arrow. and then Shoenice asked him to remove that part from the video.
I would have never expected that as a twist.
And then Gokinaru told him to fuck off. So who's being the bully to poor Shoe Nice?
Yeah, that's...
Poor protected Shoe Nice.
Wow.
What? That is such a twist. I can't. Dude,
That
Shoe
really-
Nice just outed him.
I mean, it was interesting to hear about it from Shoe Nice's perspective. I did find that whole scene pretty weird, which we're gonna watch. I guess we haven't watched yet.
Yeah,
But
the assassination.
He has like Shoe Nice's son like chasing you.
So in the end, Shoe Nice joins him to kill me for revenge.
His son.
Yeah, and by the way, Shoe Nice is estranged from his son, and I think, and actually, he knows that because he showed a clip of
Right.
Shoe Nice saying that, and then to use his son like that in a way,
Mhm.
me and Shoe are homies, so he implying that Shoe wants to kill me, and Shoe wasn't cool with it, and he asked him to take it down, and Gokunaru said no, broken arrow. Broken arrow.
And also, Shu confirming that he was the one that got it taken down?
Yeah.
What?
Like
he said both times he wrote his YouTube rap
And he said he would do
complained.
it again. He would do it a million more times.
Wow.
Dude, that was crazy.
That Shoe Nice clip just took such a twist. Oh my God. It's weird because he put so much faith into Shoe Nice. I have like a weird hair here, Ela. You're going to have to forgive me.
Can you not do that now?
Look how big it is.
What?
You saw that?
Okay, we're cutting that.
No, you leave that in. He put so much faith in the Shoe Nice story. He even says, I wouldn't have even made this video.
Yeah,
if
he says
Ethan
that a
didn't-
few times.
If Ethan didn't bully poor Shoe Nice. And then for Shoe Nice to come on. That's crazy. And also, I really love Shoe Nice, the whole thing about Keemstar. Keemstar, and then, oh, by the way, so Gokunaru gave this video to Keemstar to re-upload, right?
Right.
And and Keemstar's always promoting this video, and you know, they seem to be cool with each other. So how is it that me bowling poor Shoe Nice prompted this whole video, yet Keemstar, who said he's a child rapist publicly,
Based on no.
gets a pass.
Based on nothing.
Based on nothing. And then Shoe Nice says Keemstar blocked him when he confronted him about it.
Yeah.
Didn't apologize. So let me get this straight. I'm the asshole. Next to the dude who called him a child rapist. Wow. And how many people is that Keemstar is accused of being child rapists now?
I've lost track.
But you gotta appreciate there's so much irony. The Shoe Nice is almost the key to all of this. Shoe Nice has locked the meaning to this whole thing.
It's pretty epic considering that he was also the main reason for making this video to begin with.
He's the main reason, and he was the one that got it deleted, and he was the one that was most offended by it.
Full circle.
So let's, as Gokunaru likes to say, we've come full circle.
Yeah.
Let me just wrap this up here before we watch the outro sketch. Shoe Nice was offended that he included his child killing me. He asked him to remove it. Gokunaru told him no. Gokunaru is cool with Keemstar, who accused Shoe Nice of being a child rapist publicly. He gets a pass, but I'm the biggest asshole in the world for bullying poor Shoe Nice. Shoe Nice admits to taking down both of his videos, reporting it to his YouTube rep and getting them removed for harassing Shoe Nice.
It's so beautiful.
So
also, Keem has been promoting this video for years, but that very first segment about pyrocynical Keem was the one that debunked it. So he knows
He
it's
knows
false.
that it's wrong.
How is Keemstar promoting this video as the ultimate? He goes, this is the ultimate video. So Keemstar's apparently watched this video. The first point, Keemstar knows is wrong. In fact, he's the one that made the video saying it was totally wrong. And then Keemstar's the one that accused Shoe Nice of being a child rapist. The whole impetus for this video being made in the first place. Something doesn't make sense. Do you know what I think? You want to know what I think? I think Keemstar hasn't watched this video. I think he watched the first 5 minutes.
That's funny.
I think he might be right.
He's like, Shoe Nice is in it? Oh, shit, I shouldn't have uploaded that. I shouldn't have shared that.
I think most people haven't watched this video.
Fucking innocent.
Thank you, Keemstar.
Thank
Say
you.
it again. Say it again,
H3
Keemstar. Listen.
is fucking innocent.
I mean, look, the man says it himself. Well, let's watch the outro sketch here. Now, this is the reason this video keeps getting removed.
Yeah, and speaking, I mean, we're gonna watch it, but cut it before he actually shoots the gun at you or something.
Right, so we
don't
can't
wanna get,
show
yeah.
the
Just cut the
actual-
part where he executes me because the surrounding stuff is pretty vulgar too.
Okay.
But like, this is only, by the way, 6 minutes of an hour and 35-minute video. If he cared that much, YouTube literally said you are doing an execution at the end of the video.
Mhm.
If you cared, you would have just cut this part out and re-uploaded it. But for some reason, I don't know why he never did that. And I mean, obviously, no one would have a problem with it at that point.
He's really proud of this part. I mean, I think he said.
Well, let's watch it. Let's see.
Everyone, shoe nice again. Either way, for the 4th time, Ethan, my buddy from H3H3, has given me a shout out. He's called me the moral center of YouTube, a legend. Ethan and Hila from H3 Podcast.
By the way, Shoe Nice has crazy rapport with other people too. Like Max Mofo and Shoe Nice are always doing all this crazy beef. He's dressing up as Marge and doing all this crazy shit for Max. Like, I'm not the only one that interacts with Shoe Nice on this level. You know,
love to be interviewed by you guys. I know we had some arguments back in the day. That was totally my fault. Just drunk and just trolling.
Shoe Nice. Me
fuck
and
is this?
Hila would just like to offer you a public apology.
What am I looking at?
Yeah, we were.
I think that's
supposed to be you.
Again.
Yeah, I think that's the back of Shoe's head. I kind of remember when he uploaded this.
Oh, that's Shoe.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And he like green screened himself into the set.
We just want you to, not wait for us
the back
to
of the
call
shoe.
or email you.
It's the heel.
Oh, Shoe is such a
heel
character.
nice.
Not bothering us.
Dude,
this
he's got
time.
good, like,
You're just easy to get, bro.
he
You
can
know
somehow
what
make
I
the
mean?
back of his head move. We're not fucking assholes because it's just mean. He doesn't deserve to be made fun of. And I mean, if you look at Leafy's channel, all he does is make fun of kids and like vulnerable people. Dude,
There's
Shoe
no
Nice is not a
sport.
vulnerable person. Come on. That's so stupid. Making fun of these people, it's just sad. Sending like millions of like kids to just harass these people. And honestly, it is kind of just turned into bullying. I know we make fun of people. This argument that I'm bullying Shoe Nice is just so lame. I mean, come on. Do our best to make sure that it's somebody who deserves it. We'd never find someone with 10 views and be like, hey, fuck this kid for trying to follow his passions and live his life. Is that ticking his video? Yeah. Okay.
Here's making fun of a Joey's
Very
World
dramatic.
who's obviously has an eating disorder. Like, what the fuck, man? Can you just find like someone to pick on your
I'll
own
admit
side?
that Joey World Tour thing was a stretch.
Hmm.
That was a bad point that I made back then.
Like, I mean, seriously, dude.
At this point, it's literally just bullying. The guy needs help, support, not fucking ridicule by 1,000 raging kids on the internet. Thought we were a little more delicate than that. And I just would like to see that same delicacy across the board because this is not the community that, I mean, I think most of us want to be a part of. So I just want to say for the record that we are hypocrites.
We are hypocrites.
It all comes full circle eventually. And Ethan Klein, your time is up.
So this is building off the intro sketch where there were sketches though where he bought a gun. In the beginning, he was like a weird dude obsessed with me and wants to kill me. So I think it's just picking up from where those sketches left off. Is he in a dorm room or maybe it's a dorm room?
I think it's his bedroom.
Oh, so this is Shoe Nice's son. Which is a little, I mean, that is a little insensitive. Why Shoe Nice's
Pretty
son?
weird, man.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
Especially when Shoe Nice said in your video that he's estranged from his son.
Yeah.
Let the hunt begin. So they hunt me down and murder me, essentially. This is me, obviously, fat. I don't have blonde hair. I mean, come on. People have referenced this as lighthearted. You tell me if this is lighthearted. They go, it was just a lighthearted hunting and execution scene. Very dramatic.
Oh my god.
They found my beanie. They're hunting me. That kid does kind of look like Shoe Nice's son. I will say he casted the part well. Here I'm running. I'm falling. They got me. They found me. Shoe Nice's son found me. Oh, so this is the part where we shouldn't
Yeah,
show.
we just cut away.
But it's very, I mean, it's very graphic. Here, you can just edit out and post. Right, Dan?
Well, we're just
You can
switched
stop.
off of it.
Yeah. But, like, show this frame. So, like, he just shoots me in the face at point blank. I mean, so it is pretty graphic and creepy. It's very menacing, frankly.
I can say from my personal point of view, I did not like seeing it. It didn't feel right.
There's a clip of him saying he thought it went too far in retrospect, too. But I will say, like, obviously, I don't feel like he's going to kill me, but it's a little too, I think it is too far. Like, I would never do that. Like, it's not funny, and it's really serious and ominous and creepy. And here, I'll show, like, he kills me. And then they, like, come and spit on my body and shit. It's, like, it's just very... First of all, I had nothing to do with this video getting removed. Apparently, it was all Shoe Nice. But I totally understand why YouTube wouldn't want this being acceptable on their platform.
He knows that too. Like you said, if he really wanted it up, he'd just cut this out.
Right.
Obviously.
So they start spitting on me. It's just not that serious. I don't know.
Yeesh.
So there you have it. The Death of H3H3 by Gokinaro.
What a masterpiece.
Garbage.
No. You know what? He ends on one final note.
I'd like to share something my father once told me. I just gotten the shit kicked out of me for bullying my brother. And he said to me...
Did he just say his dad was beating the shit out of him?
That's what it sounds like.
That seemed to be what he stated.
If you're gonna dish it out, you'd better be ready to take it.
Well, did he? I mean, he showed one example of me not being able to take criticism in the case of like the hypocrisy and the N-word controversy, and I fully accept that. But I feel like I get a lot of shit here on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry your dad...
H3 is fucking innocent.
I feel like I'm sorry that your dad beat you. You shouldn't have done that.
True.
Here he says, by the way, that even he admits...
Obviously, I was not made to be a friendly video. I've said that. It's supposed to be abrasive. Same with the ending skit. I even felt some regret about the ending skit afterward, but not on a guidelines level. Okay, it was mainly on like a personal, empathetic level. I was like, oh, okay, this is definitely a bit edgy, but I had very specific reasons for.
So he it sounds like he kind of knew he went too far, and I appreciate him saying that. I feel like, yeah, I mean, it was a little disturbing for sure. So that's it. I mean. Wow,
Right.
we did it.
It's a long one. I don't even know how long.
You know
We'll
what? I
see.
do want to say though about Gokinaro again. I actually think he's a talented guy, and he put this whole thing together, and I think he did a really good job. I just think he was probably more careless than he would have been if he knew that millions of people were going to see it, right?
Mhm.
And I can say the same thing for myself. When I was making videos for what I knew was a very small audience, you had less care about like some details, right? But you know what? It's fine, you know. I think he did a good video. Obviously, there was a demand for it at the time. Everyone was saying "Content Cop Ethan," and so he did that. He filled that need, and then you know, people like Keemstar boosted it, which is ironic.
After what we know now, yes.
But anyway, no hate to Gokinaro. You know, he's got a little cult following now, and he's doing his thing. So, best of luck to him. God bless. But obviously, at a certain point, I have to acknowledge this video and talk about it. So that's what we did here today. So with that was a huge undertaking, but we did it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope that cleared up some things. And, if you guys liked it, let me know. I'll watch H3 Hate videos all day if you guys like it. I'll make a career out of watching H3 Hate videos if you guys like it. But anyway, have a great weekend.
What do we got next week?
Willie Mossman.
Right. Cool.
And then after that, Oliver Tree.
Oliver Tree.
Yeah, baby.
It's going to be awesome. His new album's coming out. We're planning some fun things. Oliver Tree, best guest. Greatest guest. Also under 1 million subs, I believe, when he came on. I just remembered.
Got him.
But anyway. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope that was watchable. I don't know if it was or not, but I think... I don't know.
No more or less than a typical episode.
Yeah. Let me know what you thought. Apparently, there's another new H3 video that everyone's talking about called Everybody Hates Ethan.
Cool.
So maybe I'll watch that next time.
Cool. Maybe in 2 years.
Submit your favorite H3 Hate videos to podcast at H33 Productions. I'm serious. Submit them. And if you guys like this, I'll watch another one. Like once a month. Hila's like, please no.
I know.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
All right, guys. Thank you all for watching. Have a great weekend. We love, appreciate you, and we'll see you on the flip side of the flip side. All right.